Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Expanse, where we are defying the stars. I know it's been a while, but it's been a thing, and I've been very, very, very excited to do this. So, we are all here, including my.
Hello, everybody.
Yep. Sorry, I had to take my finger off the push-to-talk button because I was giving the baby the pacifier, because the baby's here too. That's the main reason we haven't done this in a while. And Cander's right. I'm pretty sure that Final is the third drone. Nigel is the third drone.
I can't confirm that, didn't I?
Yeah. Nabarine stepped away for a moment, so we're just going to hang out here a little bit. Oh, thank you, Jared, for the subscription. I appreciate that. 12 months, man. Holy cow. Give me that. Oh, my gosh. Little girl. I've got this little snuggle wrapped underneath my arms, directly under the microphone, so you guys are all going to hear baby sounds.
Yes. I think that's more than appropriate. I don't think it'll break anybody's immersion too much.
I don't think so either. I do have spooky music. Well, not spooky, but like eerie music playing since we're on a dead derelict ship. Does anyone else want to give the recap? You guys want me to go ahead and do that real quick?
You go ahead.
Okay, so last time on Defy the Stars, what happened here, we all kind of, we were all members of the Shakespeare, which was a large cargo ship making runs around the belt, for the most part, owned by a belter named, I didn't write it down.
Don't think I actually gave the captain's name. You got the first officer's name.
Yeah, Elias Hall was the XO, and Elias Hall called us from our various duties and quarters, and including the engineer, Rebecca Pickett, who is a belter and is also an NPC, but called all the player characters together and said, hey, we got a thing, and we need to check this out. And there was a derelict ship. And, I mean, it could be a salvage operation, so this could be very lucrative for, obviously the captain or whatever. So we all went through space, did a spacewalk from the Bard, as she is affectionately called, to this derelict ship that we noticed quickly had, some of us noticed quickly, that had torpedo tubes and other armaments, and that was a little like, what is this? Because it was obviously not specifically a military ship. Once upon entering the ship, we found several dead crewmen and a suspicious box that had been burst open from the inside. And inside that suspiciously open box were three indentations. Three indentations that, three indentations that ended up being indentations for drones. Which then we found at the aft end of the ship and the forward end of the ship. They tried to kill us. They did not succeed. But there's one question remaining. Where is the third drone?
There is the third drone indeed.
Yes. I think that pretty much covers the broad overview there.
Pretty much. Captain's name is Carol Lewis, by the way. You would all
Carol
be aware
Lewis.
of that. My apologies. Believe it or not, when you're GMing a game, there are a couple of things that you have to keep track of, and sometimes stuff slips through the cracks.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
One other comment I'll make for those joining us is just something probably for the first couple of sessions here I'll mention. But this is our version of The Expanse for this group. This is not the TV show. This is not the novels. This is not somebody else's. So there may be some lore that's a little bit different, or I just don't know something, or I make a call at some point on the way things are, and that's okay. I'm happy to discuss that at some point with somebody. but please don't leave DE angry comments that his GM is terrible.
My GM is not terrible. My GM is amazing and very patient.
That's just a kind of a disclaimer I put anytime I run a game in a pre-established setting. Is I'm not an expert on any of the lore, so I just go ahead and throw that out there. But I think if we are ready, we can go ahead and pick up the final drone the final that you're aware of, the location of. Was
Wait, are you confirming that final is the third drone?
I'm confirming nor denying. But on the bridge, the second drone, there we go, was dispatched. The one down in the engineering section was dealt with a little bit faster with some quick shooting and the eagle eye of our. I gotta get character names in the back of my head. Of June. June had a very good shot that pretty much finished it off. It was a team effort, but June definitely did the lion's share of that particular drone in. And
as per usual, someone stole my kill.
But the everything echoes into the silence. You become more aware of your breath. You're still all in vac suits. The ship there is no atmosphere. I believe the airlock doors were left open. I don't think they were closed, and the ship is still powered down. So what would you all like to do?
So, are all of us up on the bridge?
Oh, hold on. Now that we are started, give me just a moment. I'll bring us back over to the appropriate screen.
Ah, yes, here we are.
So there's the remains of a drone down in the engineering section, and the remains of a drone up on the bridge. And I think Rebecca is somewhere between the cargo bay and engineering.
It looks like she's actually hanging out in the cargo bay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so the drone has just died, and we've just exited combat, so...
Yes.
Chester's gonna key his mic and be like, is everybody okay? Is anyone hurt?
Carter's fine. Any chance we can get that reactor spooled up, Nigel?
I'll scratch here, ready to go.
I will. Nigel will look at the console and see if anything's working.
Go ahead and roll. Evaluate how the ship is sitting. It'll be an intelligence. I think technology would fit to just kind of give it a once over. One other thing that I forgot to mention before we got started. The players know, but I am going to attempt to keep track of the system, the churn. It's a way of slowly escalating things over the course of an adventure. So at times when a 6 comes up on the drama die, if fortune points are spent, there's a couple of other things, then that counter slowly will tick up, and at the 10, 20, and 30 point mark, things can happen. So that's our first point. Oops. There we go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I would say on a 19, you blew that one out of the water. You can see, it would appear the ship, there's nothing mechanically wrong, it's just been powered down. And it'll be a matter of taking the time to basically run the ship through its startup sequence in order to get the reactor online, power, life support. You can see life support was deliberately turned off. Who and why, you can hazard whatever guess you would like to.
Nigel will speak over the comm and say, looks like someone turned it off intentionally here, team.
Makes sense, given what we've seen so far.
I'm assuming one of the drones turned off life support, considering we found a bunch of guys not in vac suits, if I'm remembering correctly.
Can they do that? Can drones turn things off?
I mean, they have like manipulative arms.
Sorry,
they
that was
have the
I
ability-
should have said that was in character. That's Chester
Oh,
going.
I'm
They
sorry.
can do that. He's a people person, not a robot person.
Sometimes they're operated by a human pilot remotely. Sometimes they're left on whatever pre-programmed routines have been put into them. I think that's what we've just seen. Whether or not when they first came to life they were being piloted, we just don't know.
So Nigel, you say that it looks like, are you saying that life support is down there?
Life support is off. The whole ship has been turned off intentionally.
I'm just saying, the control panel or whatever for life support is down there.
Nigel's going to look around looking for the control panel for life support, assuming that it's down there.
There was, I mean, in engineering, there would be some repeater. There's duplicate displays. You would probably find some controls for that both on the bridge and down in engineering. And Nigel, you'd also probably be aware that bringing a ship up from cold like this would generally require somebody in multiple places. It can be done from one place, but a ship this size, you usually need a couple of people involved.
Right. So Nigel's going to pipe up and say, yes, the control panel is down here, but it looks like we're going to take a few of us to turn this thing back on.
At that, Thomas is going to silently help himself to the pilot's seat and run his eye over the repeater displays.
Yeah, Carter will slide in one of the ops chairs, and
Chester will look around and he'll see two remaining chairs and just kind of float over to one of them and look at the console to see if he can see any kind of sign of a record of what happened on the ship.
Roll that perception seeing.
Got a 14. Oh, and stunt points. Hooray.
You don't see anything that's labeled, for captain's log or ship's log or something, but you know that such a thing, most ships do have something like that. A lot of captains do that's how they keep track of kind of the day-to-day. Though a lot of times those are done in the privacy of their quarters, if the ship has space for that, rather than, dictating things in the open air in the cockpit. But at the moment with the ship in its current powered down state, you're not seeing anything that would look like, oh, hey, I need to turn this on and then we can get playback.
Okay. I think at least some power needs to be restored, whether that's reactor or getting some internal lights and stuff going on. We need to find out what happened here, because I don't know. I feel like this is bigger than just a derelict ship at this point.
Let's get some power and then let's check the rest of the ship, because we did float past an awful lot of closed doors.
Oh, yes.
How's the engineer doing?
When I left her, she seemed like she was okay. Rebecca, how are you doing?
Fine, I guess. At Nigel, you notice she would have been floating back down into the engineering, and she's starting to poke and prod at some of the other panels that are down there, starting to get a feel for the space.
She looks like she found her home.
Does Rebecca and Thomas, do you guys think you can get the ship started up? Get some power on, seal the airlock, maybe pump some oxygen back into this space?
I'm sure between me and the Belter we can manage it.
I can go down and at least close the doors. I don't think we even closed the doors. Did we close the doors?
I don't think we did close the doors.
I can go close the doors.
The inner airlock door is closed. I did do that. But we do have some remains in the airlock that we walked in. I think perhaps June, while everyone else is taking care of things if you and I start going deck by deck and just poking things around. I don't know, Carter, if you could tag along. Neither of us. I mean, I've got some combat training, but I mean, June, you're an accountant.
Yeah, I don't really have any experience with any of these things. I also wanted to ask Mr. Preacher Man if you wanted to do anything with those bodies, or if we could just push them off the airlock or something like that, because they're kind of freaking me out, and Rebecca doesn't like them at all.
I'm not a preacher.
Sorry, I don't know.
Anyway. I'd like to say at least a few words for him at some point, but we can store them for now. I'm sure the ship has some kind of cold storage somewhere. If not, we can always leave them in the airlock.
I hear it's pretty cold in space.
Yes, it's very... Yeah, it is. But we also don't know anything about them, and I don't know about you guys, but if I were found dead on the ship, I'd like a few words said rather than just being thrown out into the void without any ceremony.
Fair enough, I guess.
Tom's going to shrug. Padre, by the way, do you want to take a gun if you're going deck by deck?
Yeah, this thing, he's going to heft his stun pistol. Doesn't really work on drones very well.
I unholster my gun and I pass it to Chester.
I'll take it and I guess I'll put it in the holster and then take the stun gun and kind of put it in one of my coverall pockets. Alright. June, are you armed?
I am indeed armed. Rebecca had a pistol on her.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just start with the first deck with sealed doors. I believe it's 2 decks down?
One deck below me, I think, yeah.
Alright. Chester's going to make his way down the ladder and into that main common room area. Here.
Okay.
Yeah, Carter will tell Thomas to yell for him if he needs a hand and go with Chester and June.
Okay.
After that?
What we're going to have is something that is in the system, it is an advanced test, because it does take a little bit of time to bring a ship like this up from being completely cold. So the way those work, they will operate, somebody will make a roll that is going to account for a period of time. In this case, it will be about 10 minutes or so. And then overall, what we're looking for is the total on the drama die to equal the total that I set. So as long as you succeed on the basic roll, whatever number comes up on the drama die gets added to the total, and then 10 minutes passes, and then another 10 minutes passes, and so on, just to account for the passage of time doing something like this. It's not terribly difficult. There's not anything Nigel or Rebecca or anybody is seeing that is going to cause problems, but it is going to just takes a little bit of time to do it properly. Shortcuts can get made if you feel like you need to, but you are dealing with a reactor, and if you take too many shortcuts, you make the final shortcut, and we start a new campaign. So whoever would like. I mean, you don't play around with reactors too much before, bad things happen. And, you said you wanted it to end. That's a way this could end if things go badly. But there's a couple of different ways. Sometimes I might require that the same person be making the tests. In this case, it requires people both, like I said, up on the bridge, down in engineering. So there's a number of different steps that we can go through. We'll kind of, if anybody, it doesn't have to be all one person. So who would like to make the first test?
I'm assuming it would be either Thomas or Rebecca who are
or
actually
Nigel.
doing the startup.
Nigel's down there too.
Oh, yeah, Nigel. Yeah.
Yep, and there'd be stuff up on the bridge. I will let you kind of field what you feel the appropriate test should, or the skill that you would be using. You're going to tell me like how your character is going about being involved in firing up, getting the ship warmed up. It's not overly difficult, so your basic tests that you'll be rolling are going to be average, so you're probably looking for a 10 or 11, something like that. The time involved, the target number is 15 overall, just to account for the amount of time it takes to bring things up. And then after that, it would still take a little bit of time to completely repressurize the entire ship. But at least at that point, you would have power. So, who's making our first roll?
I'm guessing it's either me or Rebecca, considering one of us is to look at the reactor.
Either one. I didn't want to just have Rebecca down here rolling dice for everybody, so everybody has an opportunity.
So then I guess Nigel would be looking at the reactor, wondering whether or not it's going to explode.
Do we have a sheet for Rebecca that would have like a intelligence?
Yeah, she does have the intelligence. She had intelligence engineering as a focus, if I get my terminology right. So if you would like Rebecca to take the first one, we can certainly do that, and then we'll kind of pass it around.
Yeah, let's have Rebecca do whatever it is that engineers do to get reactors warmed
Rebecca would, Nigel's kind of standing there looking at the main engineering console, looking for the master on switch, and wondering which button would make ship go boom. And she just kind of moves over, and not like she doesn't shove you out of the way, but she just sort of moves into the space you're in and starts flipping switches and typing stuff in. So let's see, I need to make intelligence. Whoops. Wow. She succeeded. And that is a 6 on the drama die, which is also going to increase. Dun dun dun. So we're at 6. So while that's happening, because again, each of those rolls occupies the space of about 10 minutes, what is our other group, Chester, Carter, and June, headed down to do?
Well, June said that she was going to at least close the airlocks fully.
Okay, so you're headed straight down to the where you came in, the external airlocks. Okay,
that's where she was going to go first, and then I think they were going to go and hunt for a drone.
Okay. Is the whole group going all the way down, or is Chester and Carter going to start there and then work their way down to meet June?
I was going to start on the first deck of closed doors.
Okay.
Question.
In this first 10-minute span, June, you're easily able to make it down and start getting the airlock cycled closed. It'll take a little bit of time since you are having to run some manual overrides, but a roll is not required because this is the kind of thing when people design ships they want to make easy.
Yes.
If an airlock needs closed manually, you don't want to make it difficult. So that'll, and then Chester and Carter.
Before we get atmosphere pumped in,
I'm gonna go into the first door on my right.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Assuming the door
Let
isn't
them know
locked
that my mic's not working.
In some fashion.
Just to let you know, DE's mic is not working.
I don't understand.
So we're figuring this out.
Okay. Not a problem. Yeah, very easy to do. The door is not locked. It's a little awkward to open without power. It's kind of like when you're used to having powered steering and you don't have power steering on a vehicle. You can still get the wheel to turn, but it takes a little bit of effort.
There.
But
oh my gosh, I have to push all 4 buttons. Hang on, there's something funky going on with TeamSpeak. One moment.
Not a problem. Do you want me to wait on you, or?
Yeah, I was gonna before. The only thing Chester's gonna say while this all happens is like, hey, before we pump atmosphere in here, we should probably at least gather the remains in some place that's going to contain them, because some of them are messy, and that's gonna start smelling.
Good call.
Can't see what's got going on over here.
Fair enough. You want to head back to the galley and find some sort of containers?
I was just thinking we could put them in one of the airlocks, or we can search a ship for a morgue, or something that can double as a morgue. I don't know. Maybe in the cargo bay there might be a
Frozen food
container.
locker.
There's a food locker that might work if there's a freezer that doesn't have a lot of food in it.
I feel like any freezer is going to have food that we're going to probably need. Why don't we store them in the port airlock for the time being? We can use the starboard airlock.
Okay.
Okay.
Chester will go with Carter to collect bodies, but we're also going to have to look for more bodies as well. So I don't know if we want to do that on this deck, or if we want to, do we want to look through here in character? Should we check these doors first, or should we just collect the bodies that we know about and then find the others as we go?
Let's check these doors first. I don't want to be making a bunch of trips back and forth.
Up here at that point. So in character then. So do you want me to stay with you and then go when we find all the bodies, or do I have to go down there and touch the yuck by myself?
I mean, we're wearing spacesuits. There's no touching involved.
It's still touching.
Did we seal the inner airlock doors?
Yes.
All right, why don't you stay with us for the time being, and we'll all make our way down.
Okay.
Nigel did say that there were 3 divots in that box, right?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Did.
Let's wait until we've cleared these decks before we go splitting up again.
Well, you're the boss, man. Which door should we grab?
This one, kind of point. I mean, there's only 2 doors, so we'll do this, and then we'll do the other one.
Chester's gonna pull the pistol out. He's not gonna aim it or anything. He's gonna have it in his hand, just in case.
Same Zays.
Okay. Yeah. Then the door's not difficult. Like you have to force it a little bit, because it doesn't quite want to open. But when you first open it, you can see it's 2 like acceleration chairs right in front of you, and then to either direction there's small doors that then lead into. You can see the bunks that were there, and
So
right up
The
here.
other 2 doors are open?
Yeah, they are both open.
Okay.
And you can see floating in this top one another member of crew, that no vac suit, very likely based on their dress might have been like off duty and asleep when things went down. The other one is empty.
So since I opened the door, I'm assuming I stepped through to see this guy. I'd like to search the body to make sure that there's nothing dangerous on them.
Okay, roll a perception. Are you just giving him kind of like a visual once over, or?
Visual once over, and I'm assuming when you say he's ready for bed, and you mean he's in his like skivvies, so like he doesn't have pockets or anything.
Yeah, he'd be in. Again, you're not really seeing anything that would look like a uniform. This looks very civilian. So he basically has. It would essentially amount to like a t-shirt and some like loose, almost like sweatpants kind of thing. Okay. That he's wearing. So there may be a pocket in him a little bit, but there's certainly not a lot of places that, oh yeah, there's, a bomb tucked into a pocket kind of thing.
And he's floating in like the middle of the cabin, or is he still in bed?
He orientation would probably put him that when whatever happened, he would have been up and around. So he's kind of in the middle of the space.
Okay.
Chester's gonna poke over the shoulder, and was he shot too?
Not obviously that you can tell.
Okay. Carter, do you want me to handle this individual? I can put him. I can gather him out into the main foyer, and we can bring him and any of compatriots on this deck down to the airlock.
Yeah, just let me check him first. Make sure there's nothing on him.
All right.
Or in him.
When people say they wish
Gross
they could
drugs.
die, I wish I could die in my sleep. I don't think this is what they meant.
It was probably fast, at least.
Chester gets kind of pained expression on his face, but decides not to say anything to disabuse Carter of his notion.
Did you want that perception check?
Yeah, go like perception. Probably perception seeing, since most of it's going to be a visual once over. Okay. Yeah. You don't. There is a pocket in the pants that he's wearing, but you don't find anything. Looking around the room, you can see some other personal effects that are floating around. Very likely he hadn't finished like securing all of his stuff when whatever happened as he was preparing to hit the head or hit the hay.
So Carter will kind of pass the body over to Chester, and want you to put that out in the I don't know what they call that central area.
The foyer or common area.
Yeah, put them in the common area until we search the other side.
All right, I'm gonna take him, and I'm gonna move my character to where I grab the guy and bring him to the other area. So I'm just gonna kind of ducked in and moved him to right where I'm standing or floating now. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna. I can't really look at anything other than carry the body. Hey, June, do you want to check and see if there's anything that could identify the ship or these people in these quarters as we look through them?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, that'll be another perception. This is probably more of like I don't know, is investigation a thing? I need to pull up my chart of focuses and whatnot. I'm crossing my wires because I've been listening to so much Critical Role that I basically have 5e in my head. That's my problem is there's a lot of very similar things. So let's see, Constitution, fighting, intelligence, nope. Perception, empathy, hearing, intuition. Perception searching. That would probably be the best.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I have perception. I don't know how to turn it into
if you don't have
else.
the focus, just roll perception, basically.
Okay, and a 10. You don't find anything with the ship name on it. In fact, it's probably the most telling thing is that you're not finding anything. Most commercial ships or civilian ships, while they may not have uniforms, will have like you would find some identifier somewhere, on the ship. And that's probably the first thing that would strike you as interesting is you're not finding those. It's the lack of that information. As for a specific identification for this individual, I would say that over the course of this, you do come up with some information. I do not have a comprehensive list of names for all of these deceased crew members, but you now have a name for this one.
Okay.
It's something reasonably generic. So you're starting to find some, but yeah.
This is Bob Fermit right here.
There you go.
Bob Fermit? Bob Fermit?
Bob Fermit instead of Saget.
Ah, I see.
Yes. And I'm noticing nothing as far as what this ship is. You all mentioned that there. Did they mention that there was nothing on the side of the ship? No name.
None of us saw anything.
Right, but I can't remember if anybody actually mentioned that. I remember they said it was armed.
So, just a little background here. So, often you will not see a lot on the exterior of Expanse ships because no one's really looking. There aren't windows. They just use video cameras or sensors or just screens that kind of fake what's outside because windows are a huge structural weak point for a spaceship. So sometimes there will be a nameplate, but it's not unusual to not have an actual nameplate on the outside of a ship.
Well, I just remember that was a point of interest last time.
I think it was just that nobody really knew what the ship was. It was not familiar to any of us. It could just be kind of anything. If I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, somebody please tell me.
I think I mentioned it because, again, while it's not necessarily the most normal thing, a ship this size with as small of a crew that it might have, sometimes the crew will take time to actually put a name on the exterior, because when they come into port, it can be visible. Stations, might have some viewing areas as you're coming into dock, and even if nobody can see it, the crew knows it's there. It's kind of a morale thing. But it's a little bit hit or miss whether they do, because it does take time. And as you say, it's not necessarily a common thing, but some ships this size will. There's probably Shakespeare somewhere on the side of Big Bard, even though nobody ever sees it.
Right, or a picture, kind of like they made something on the Rocinante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a bust of Shakespeare like welded to the hull of Big Bard.
Okay, well, either way, June is poking around, and you guys, I am not finding anything about the ship, where it's from. There are no records I'm finding. There's not even like anything put on the side of the bunk, like to say what kind of ship this. I don't know. There's nothing here, guys.
At that, Chester, having done a single cruise on a Martian ship, back in his military days, is gonna kind of crack the radio, and be like, "Are we thinking we're on a pirate ship then?"
I mean, there's nothing necessarily piratey about this, but I understand what you mean.
Too clean, too slick to be a pirate, I think.
It would be a very well-funded pirate to have something like this. And not have someone come... I'm leaning more towards pirate myself, because an organization isn't going to leave a ship like this just out here sitting. They're going to want it back.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh.
Let's check the other room, and then we got to get through all these rooms here.
I'd say in this first round of 10 minutes, you kind of cleared this particular deck. You don't find anything more. There's not any other bodies or drones on the other side, but it seems to be, as you can see on the map, an exact duplicate of the other side of the ship. A couple of acceleration couches and then small bunk rooms. I think most of you have been around ships enough to know that a space like this is probably where, like, captain, first officer, because it gives them a little more private space as far as the rooms. But still not finding anything that would provide identification of the ship or exactly who the crew are. And so we're coming around to the next 10 minutes, so I will need somebody to go ahead and make our next check to see as we advance towards bringing the ship online.
Thomas, would you like to do some piloty things up there?
Yeah, I can do. I think at this stage, while we're still warming up the reactor, it's going to be a case of keeping an eye on displays, maybe doing some odd jobs, like once the batteries have started warming up the reactor, maybe tasking to something else, whatever. So it's just do an intelligence roll, I suppose.
That'll work. It's basically like as in this first 10 minutes, you can start to see like some of the displays starting to show as the reactor is coming online. And so there's pre-flight stuff. So if you have anything that would be related to piloting, that would certainly apply. Even though you're not physically moving the ship,
Well, I do have a pilot skill, but I think that comes as dexterity. Well, it counts as a talent. Oh, there we go.
Going straight to the free action for you. Perform. Okay. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to... I'll let you pick. I will either allow you to reduce the number the target number for the test as you're going through like the pre-flight, whatever it is you roll, the difficulty will be reduced, or I will let you add a bonus to whatever your drama die is.
I'll go with the bonus. I'll be confident.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of up to you what you roll. Even if it's if piloting, if you have a focus that doesn't necessarily fit.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's under dexterity, which doesn't make an awful lot of sense in my head, but.
I'll still take it. It's flipping switches and pushing buttons and running through the pre-flight. Okay.
And then, then there's the focus as well.
Yep. And then go ahead and roll an additional d6 for me. Okay, so another 6.
Nope.
You are at 12 of 15. I'll just take the 4 off of that drama die, and we'll call that it. Okay, so there, and those of you down further down, you're starting to see, starting with some of the more emergency lighting and stuff like that starts to come to life, so that you can tell, even if you're not necessarily getting status updates, that you are, progress is getting made. And so, what is our next group? The search group heading down to do?
Jester's gonna drag Bob Fermit to the port airlock, just while June and Carter get things start to get things squared away on the next deck, just because he doesn't want to carry a bunch of bodies all at once. So,
you are in 0G, so moving the bodies around is easy.
It's still hard to
right.
It's still hard to maneuver.
Gotcha.
So
100 kilograms of dead weight.
Yeah, instead of carrying a body, he's juggling bodies.
Yeah, just floating all around. So one at a time. And as a medic, Chester has handled human remains before, so he takes a little bit of a medical tape out of his med kit and just kind of gently tapes the arms and legs together so that it's kind of one bundle and easy to deal with. And he just kind of pushes him down the ladder and kind of follows him. And so I don't know how many minutes that would take, but I'm assuming I end up right around the airlock here.
Yeah, getting down to the airlock is easy enough.
I'm just aware of time. I don't want to be like, and I put the body back and come back, and I'm back in time for anything that might happen. So
yeah, we're time's a little fluid, and then if June and Carter.
I'm gonna head down to the next deck and then start poking into rooms again.
Okay. Yep. Where do you start? You have 4 options.
I'll start in the northwest corner.
Okay. Open it up. It's exactly as it appears on the map, but there's nothing in there. There's probably a little bit of debris that's just miscellaneous things that's floating around a little bit, but nothing extraordinary.
And June has looked into this room at the same time.
Okay. As you open that one, your first response as you open the door is to very hastily beat a retreat because you see the unmistakable form of a combat drone floating right there at eye level with you. But then your brain catches up with your senses, and you realize that there's no lights on it, and it didn't shoot you. And so you go to look back in the room. You can see there is another crewman in the room who does have a vac suit on, but there's a rather glaring hole in it that it looks like they tried to put an emergency patch over it, but either it didn't take or they didn't do it fast enough or patch wasn't good or something. So basically somebody got the drone, but the drone did kind of finish him off.
Okay, so upon opening the door, there is a sudden string of cusses over the radio, and then she gets her wits about her and goes, "You guys, I found the other drone. It's okay. It's dead. So is the other guy in this room." So
the last thing the rest of you hear over the comms is I found the other drone, and then there's just like garbled nonsense.
June?
So Carter's going to spin around because he's on the same deck as her, so losing comms 10 feet away.
Yep.
And he's going to look at her, like give her some belter hand signals, like, "Are you okay?"
Being
no
earther.
comms. Yeah. Hey, it's second nature. You can't stop the hand signal.
Right.
Can't stop
Can't
the
stop
signal.
the signal now.
I approve.
So June looks at him, just kind of gives him a look, and then she recognizes one of the signals because she's worked with people enough in space that she points to her helmet like, "Can you not hear me?"
And I'm assuming that interference is all of us, Squirrel.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to key your radio, and at this point, the two of you were close enough, you can see lips moving behind the visor of your vac suits, but nothing's coming across.
Is there enough light that we can do that now with the emergency lights on?
I mean, you mean try to read lips?
Yeah.
You could certainly try.
At this point, Chester, hearing the squeal, is going to make his way, like, double time up the ramp with his pistol drawn, expecting trouble.
Okay. Yeah, you're en route back. Nigel, Thomas. So, I mean, because I assume that communication about I found the drone went to the whole group.
Yes.
In any particular response to I found the drone and then just...
Thomas is going to see if he can lock the door behind him.
Okay.
Prudent.
Thomas is gonna just take the shit.
This is mine now.
Lock the door. Yeah, you can certainly close it. That's easy enough to do. Locking it, though...
Well, closed will do enough, as long as it's gives me a bit
Okay.
of notice if somebody's coming back up.
Yeah, I was gonna say closing it would be easy to do. Locking is going to be there would be a test involved, since you don't exactly have all of like the codes and everything to lock everything, and it would also tend to interrupt your pre-flight check that you were in the middle of.
Yeah.
But
The other thing I'd like to investigate is, are the systems up enough that I can send sort of text messages through the internal system to the other deck so we can continue coordinating with the pre-flight?
Roll. Roll an intelligence technology test. For me.
Sorry. My bad.
It would seem to be that there's some general power, and again, like I said, the light is coming up, and we're at, what did I say, 12 of 15, so we're not that far away from the ship having power, and then the process of actually getting, life support established. So I would say, yeah, you'd be able to, there's a little, console that would be connected down to engineering to allow for some text-based communication back and forth. Nigel? You can see
Nigel,
Rebecca like looking around, somewhat confused.
Nigel is going to just gesture at the console and try and motion to her to keep working, and is going to whip around and look at the next closest console that might have something to do with the comm system.
Okay. There wouldn't be one dedicated to communications down here, but you do find that the ship has like an internal like intercom system that could be used, and that you probably start seeing there some messages being displayed from Thomas.
Whoa.
Let me actually, we're going to turn, there we go. There we go. That won't happen again. So if you're typing in character in text chat, it won't hijack the screen.
It was kind of funny though. I liked it.
Yep.
I was like, wee.
So yeah, you look over and then just being displayed across.
And the Inulota have no idea this is being talked about right now.
Nope. Nope.
Is there a comm system down there on the deck where Carter and June are? Some kind of like, would they have seen those messages?
Roll Carter. I would need them to roll a perception seeing, to see if they can, find it. Because I'd say there probably is one, but you're
Probably
not
in one of the
familiar.
rooms, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Between the two of you, you do find, because it's something that, a ship, especially the size as the Shakespeare, some sort of internal communications, knockout. A backup system is, oh, hey, something hardwired into the ship, and you both like head into, if it's the same room or different rooms, and you would locate a small terminal screen that you can now see, some discussion on.
While this is all happening, Chester gets up into that same area again.
Yeah.
Guns out, looking around, sees that June and Carter are okay. Knows the radio isn't working, so he just kind of pushes his head against Carter's head and says, "What's going on?"
Comms are down.
Well, yes.
Well done.
Drone, what happened?
The drone was dead.
Oh.
That's as much as I know.
June just kind of gestures to the room across the way.
Chester puts his gun back in the holster and sticks his head in and sees the drone and the dead body, kind of sighs to himself and starts grabbing the dead body and moving it back out. I guess I'm the mortician of the group.
Yep.
Well, June's not touching it.
Start that process. Okay, that probably brings us to our next roll. And so then the question is, do you want to redirect, but basically put the startup sequence on pause while you investigate trying to get some sort of communications backup, or do you want to finish, what you're doing? Get the ship back up, and then move into trying to sort out communications and figuring out what's going on.
I think since we have communication in some way, we wouldn't want to interrupt booting up the ship.
Are there any sensors active yet?
Thomas would probably have access to some if he would like to use them.
Let me hang on. I gotta do this in character, so Chester goes to the terminal, he pauses for a moment. Chester actually says that correctly. It's just there is spelled differently on Mars.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Typing in a vac suit on a keyboard not designed for that.
Yeah.
The fact that there's only one typo.
See, it was just in character, guys. It wasn't a typo. I was adding verisimilitude.
There you go.
Well, my gut feeling is that there would not be any sensors up yet, because if we're still warming up Reactor, as I say, perhaps if I, could cuss over the batteries, but I think that would screw with the main mission of getting the Reactor back up. No point being able to see something coming and killing us if we can't do anything about it.
Could given that Rebecca and Thomas have been the ones doing the rolls so far for startup, and Nigel hasn't done anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Could we split our effort?
It's possible.
My
Depending
thought
on
being,
what you
if
want
Nigel, if Nigel's looking at the comms and trying to figure that out, in some sense, could pull out the data pad and start looking for signal or looking for something to try and figure out why we're not being able to hear each other.
You certainly could. It is going to be more difficult from your current location down in engineering, because it's, there's some basic stuff that would come through down there, but it wouldn't be nearly as comprehensive as if you were on, a communications terminal or ops terminal or something up on the bridge. So it's certainly possible. It's just going to be a little more difficult, and it might limit what information you can get.
Right. Okay.
But it is certainly possible for you to do that while somebody else takes over the final, trying to get you over the hurdle that the reactor then comes fully up.
Well, in that case, it might be better just to get the reactor up and running and then start doing that, because we're not that far away from getting the reactor up.
Mm-hmm. Pretty close.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Okay, so then Nigel will run an intelligence tech to try and get the reactor started.
Yep, that'll work. Well, you succeed on the roll, but we only add 1 point, so you're at, what does that put? 13 out of 15?
So close.
Yeah, so it'll take a little bit longer. However, Thomas and you might be able to get a little bit of something if you want to start poking around at some of the other consoles up there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
He's twiddling his thumbs violently on the bridge is what's happening.
Well, I'm sure
Pretty
there's
much
things that a pilot does when the ship's coming up.
That's why this is sort of a
yeah.
group effort. There's the startup sequence.
So am I rolling now? Sorry.
If you would like to investigate or attempt to investigate any sensors that may be starting to come online as we're inching ever closer to the ship being fully powered.
Makes sense, I think.
Oh, man.
The ship possesses sensors.
You do find you have to you've been sitting in what you would identify as the pilot's chair, and so you kind of push off from that and glide over to one of the other stations that you've been in around enough cockpits to know like what stations probably do what. The one that would maybe ops, sensors, communications, stuff like that. And essentially what you're getting as you're sort of floating there looking at it, or if you activated your mag boots, either way, is there's a heck of a lot of noise out there. The ship, you could probably find a way to cut through it to some extent. Let's see. You also notice it would appear there is a slot there that you could actually patch, basically plug your suit directly into the console and possibly give you voice comms over the ship's intercom system. Like instead of trying to broadcast, everything's done via wire.
I would do, but part of me is suspicious because I don't know if there's any sort of viruses or anything been uploaded as any kind of booby trap, and also because there's no air, even if I could speak over the speakers, it's not going to do much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to file that away in the back of my mind in case it comes into use later. But
yep. And rest of the group. I think Chester is still involved in moving body number 3.
Yep, I'm on my way back down.
Okay.
To put him in the port airlock as well. So
I think June hopped back over and took the drone very gingerly, just so that it's not hanging out in there.
Okay.
And to maybe see if there's anything they can get off of it later. And then maybe would have checked out the other room.
there are two other rooms.
Is this one?
Yes, there are
okay.
four rooms
I see
on that level.
Okay.
Roll another. I'm going to say perception searching. It looks like the damage to the drone is relatively self-contained. It doesn't look like there's a lot of extra, damage to it, so it's very likely that there's bits and pieces that could be used. You're finding, again, you kind of locate some basic information about names for a couple of the crew. But again, still a very distinct lack of any identifiers of exactly what this ship is or who it belongs to.
Chester has secured the body in the airlock and is on his way back up again.
Okay. Just for giggles, go ahead and roll me a perception seeing.
Me?
Yes. Okay. You like how exactly are you positioning these bodies in the airlock? Are you just kind of leaving them hang there, or?
I'm activating their mag boots and putting them, kind of like, I'm laying them
Creepy.
down, but mag booting them to like the side of the airlock kind of thing, so that if thrust gravity comes back, they won't like get crushed or flap around. But also,
Gotcha.
they're not just going to bounce all over the place in the airlock.
Gotcha.
Stay.
Yes, exactly.
And as you go to do that, and activate the mag boots, the outer door of that airlock is still open, because I don't think the outer airlock on either of them had been closed. And the ship has had a very minor spin, not enough to impart any sort of gravity or anything, but as it comes around, the Bard comes into view, sitting for what in ship terms is pretty close. And there's something like you catch something out of the corner of your eye, and so then you go to look a little bit closer, and you can definitely see what is likely a drive, active drive from another ship.
Oh. Well, Chester is going to boogie to the nearest console. He's gonna, on his way through, he's gonna, there's power to close the airlock doors now?
I'd say you're getting to the point that you'd be able to.
He's gonna push a button. I would think that there would be a button on either airlock door that can close the inner doors on both of them. Would that be correct, or do I have to cross to close the other one too?
No, I think there'd be one, you could close them both.
I'm going to close the doors, actually all the airlock doors, inner and outer, once I'm on the inside of the ship. And I'm going to go to the nearest console and type furiously with my gloves on.
Okay.
In before dexterity roll to see if it's actually intelligible.
I love it. I love it.
All right, seeing the message, Carter is going to reply. It's exciting.
Oh, we just went text-based RPG. If anyone who can't see it, what Chester typed was, there's another ship out there, psst, the Bard, asterisk, past, blasted gloves. Go ahead, read it out loud.
So Carter is basically telling Nigel and Rebecca to strap in down in engineering and to get everyone else to get up to the bridge. Now!
No! Chester will comply.
It's a good thing that June happened to see one of those communication screens in one of these rooms.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, before Carter is leaving, he would go and grab Rebecca and kind of pull her along behind him.
You mean June?
Or you mean June?
June,
Okay.
as he basically launches her up the passageway
So you just yeet her up the corridor.
before following.
Would Thomas have opened the door he locked, or would it?
Oh,
would
he
June
didn't
be
lock it, he just
knocking on
closed it.
I think right now Thomas is well, he's about to, he was partway through typing words the effect of "let's get the guns online." So no, he has not opened the door, but as said, it's not locked; it's just closed.
Okay. So June opens the door so that we can all get through.
Yep. And I think this brings us to our next roll. And rather excitingly, I notice it doesn't look like there's any acceleration couches down in engineering.
Oh man. Oh man.
So what does Rebecca and Nigel do?
Well, we still have to get the ship online.
Mhm.
Yeah, the reactor's still not online, correct?
Not quite. It's very close.
Okay, so then the.
Well,
go ahead.
I would think even. No, they don't show, so there's not any down there.
Okay, so then Nigel, reacting to this news that he's seen on this jury-rigged pad in front of him, is going to try and help Rebecca start the reactor faster.
Okay.
Which is going to be an int tech roll, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it could be engineering. It could be, there's a couple of different things. And I forget off the top of my head what assistance does in this system. Too many systems, and they all have similar mechanics. Let me see. Nope. This index is worthless.
Yay!
So we're just gonna go with it. And I'll say it lowers the. It's gonna lower the difficulty of this last test, since you're both working on it. So if you'd like to make it, or if you would like Rebecca to take another one.
Let's get Rebecca to run it because she's got the engineering roll.
Okay, that'll work. And I would say, like, as Thomas, you return to the pilot chair, as everybody is now like hustling up to the bridge and getting in. You can actually see, now that you know what to look for, it looks like there is a slot at the piloting station as well that you could, plug your suit directly into the ship if you wanted to attempt to communicate in that fashion.
Yeah, I will at this point.
Let's see.
Chester sees Thomas plugging in. Oh boy. And
So let's see. That's
also
2.
plugs in because he sees Thomas doing it.
Yep. And I think vac suits probably come with, it's like a little pigtail cable that, you can plug in, so it's kind of out of the way. Let's see, what were we at? 13. I think that only puts us at 15. No, that puts us right at 15, if I'm doing math right. We were at 12,
Yes.
13, 14, 15.
Yay! The ship works. Maybe.
So as
The reactor works.
Magnetic bottle fails.
No! The end.
You, Nigel and Rebecca, you're kind of then standing shoulder to shoulder at the panel, and the two of you are running through the final stages of like reactor startup as fast as you can put it through its paces. Like normally there's times, you turn something on, you let it go for a little bit, and then, you move to the next step. You're cranking through these as fast as you can, trying to complete the steps. And it comes up with the final, the very final step, and you sort of look at each other, and then, both hit the buttons or enter on the final sequence, on your respective little terminals. There's nothing for a second, nothing for a second, nothing for a second. You get the equivalent of the scrolling or the spinning hourglass.
Oh no, it's the first computer boot, and it doesn't do anything. No!
It takes a second. and then you can feel the vibration of the reactor finishing kicking over. I don't know how nuclear reactors work, so sure, vibrations.
It's a fusion bomb that's contained inside of a magnetic field. There would be vibrations, yes.
Yes, the vibrations, and you finally get that final startup complete message. And up in the cockpit, you're seeing the same thing. Lights are coming on. The ship now appears to be alive. So what does the rest of the group do? As you're settling in, you're getting plugged in. The four of you at least will be able to hear each other now. Nigel and Rebecca are still kind of on their own.
Question, because I haven't paid enough attention.
Mm-hmm.
Are these pretty much universal consoles, or are the four seats up in the cockpit, are they dedicated to something?
They're generally pretty dedicated, but I would say that you guys have been around ships enough that you're naturally drawn. Like Thomas was drawn to the pilot seat. If there was a specific one you were looking for, you would have been able to get to it.
Okay.
And then there's some amount of functionality at all of them. It's just the pilot one is the one that has the joystick. That's kind of obvious.
Yeah, so I'm gonna plug in, words, colds.
Words are hard. Colds are harder.
Words are hard. Yes.
It's very cold in space. That's why it's called hard vacuum.
as we feel the hum through the ship of the reactor, and the lights come up, I'm gonna try to pull up the PDCs and bring them online.
Okay. The excitement here is the console, as you go to fire it up, is asking for authorization. Basically, you need to put in a password.
We need Nigel.
It would seem that just not anybody can fire up the weapon systems on this particular ship.
We either need Nigel or we need the captain's credentials. Oh man, do we have to go search things for the captain?
Well, there was only one deck of rooms left.
Yeah.
And I think there were a couple of bodies up here with the drone.
On the bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't.
I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, because the most pressing thing was the fact there was a drone shooting at you.
Yeah, I think there was one in the galley just below, but I don't think you mentioned anything about one on the bridge. Yep. Okay. As soon as he sees the password thing on the screen, Chester's going to immediately go to one of the bodies and search for a token or a key or something on the body that might give him a clue to that. I don't know if one of you guys wants to... Someone help me. We got to find something. We got to find the keys.
Was there one or two bodies up there, Squirt?
Two.
Okay, so, I mean, that's a pretty cramped space, so I'm just going to kind of reach over from my chair and grab the other body and kind of start rifling through it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then have both of you roll perception. What was that? Searching.
Oof.
Harder. You're not finding anything. Like the body that was there that you got a hold of was free floating, so you're having to get a hold of it and move it. Because I assume you're also trying to not, you're strapped in the process of strapping in, and you're trying not to get out of your chair.
Correct.
And it's just making it awkward. Like you just kind of put the body into a spin, and then you're having trouble actually getting a grip on anything. You finally start to stabilize and get a hold of it, but you don't have an opportunity to find anything just yet. I'd say Chester, when you go over, see, that's the difference between...
There's a keychain with a fuzzy dice and it's got the password written on it, right?
I mean, an 11 still, I mean, that's kind of an average.
Rosebud.
I think you start going through and you're reasonably confident that you do in fact have the body of the previous captain that you're working with, but there's, I mean, frankly, in your opinion, a ridiculous number of pockets on this guy's current attire.
Chester's jealous.
That you're trying to get. He's got like a jumpsuit on, so there's a couple of chest ones, and then there's the hip pockets, and then there's cargo pockets, and you're trying to get through. Frankly, a obscene number of pockets right now. Who needs this many?
Okay. So I don't find anything in the pockets at all.
You not what you're looking for.
Okay.
Like there's stuff, but it's not like, oh hey, this is the what we need to get the ship unlocked.
He reaches in, he finds something, goes, oh, what's this? And he pulls out, oh, it's a pack of gum. And he just kind of tosses it off to the side.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Just what the hell or what the heck? Excuse me.
Well, Chester's going to get back in the chair, plug back in, and say, we need to get Nigel up here right now, or we need him to unlock the system. I don't know how he does his belter magic computer wizardry, but we need him to get us working.
Yeah, I'd say at this point, Nigel, Rebecca she's more than aware that the reactor is now up. And I mean, she's been around ships a long time. She knows being freestanding when you kick on the drive is not a good place to be. So you're not really having to drag her terribly much as she's, moving along with you.
Okay, so Nigel, not knowing anything about what's going on the bridge, is just going to go up to where he thinks the nearest chair is going to be, which is going to be probably the galley.
Oh man, all the way up here.
Nigel hasn't been anywhere
that's
but
true.
The airlock, right?
Well, roll a perception seeing test for me, as you and I'm going to have Rebecca roll one as well. Ooh, okay. So let me go ahead. I will go ahead and show that. So as you rocket up, like you both push off, and like you're using the ladder, just pulling yourselves along. Nigel, you're just beelining for further up in the ship. You can feel Rebecca reach out, and like she grabs a hold of I'll say she's behind you, like your foot or something, and gives you a pull to get your attention. And you can see her pointing at, because the doors on this floor here got left open, and she caught sight of an acceleration couch, and she's kind of pointing you at one as she's redirecting herself to the other one.
Okay, so Nigel's going to go to that chair then.
Yep. And I'd say you probably pick up on the possibility of there being a place to plug in, voice comms hardline into a ship.
I imagine that's a pretty common feature of ships.
Yes, yeah. I think it took a second for everybody to get there because, like, I haven't played it up as much as I probably should have, but this ship was creepy. Like, it was dark, there was bodies, there's stuff floating around. So yeah, I'd say the two of you get plugged in, and like you're hearing some chatter from the rest of the group up on the bridge at this point.
Okay, so did he hear me say that we needed to get Nigel up here, or do we need to say something again?
No, I think like as he plugs in, he just gets the up to the bridge. He kind of gets the last half of the comment. So
Nigel then is going to be like, really? And then get back out of the chair and go back up to the bridge.
Okay. You can certainly make it, but if you want to get there faster, I am going to need a roll.
Okay.
Probably acrobatics of some sort. Do you have any focuses there?
I do not. I have a Constitution Stamina.
Would that be? It's going to be either Constitution or Dexterity, right?
I think it's probably it would be like acrobatics.
Are you a belter, Nigel?
Yes,
he is. He's good at 0G.
So you have free fall.
Float,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm not sure exactly what that does.
Oh, I did not mean. I was trying to get the description for that. Sorry.
That's all right.
I didn't even know I got it. So
you get it as a belter.
Yeah, it's It's a focus, maneuvering and moving while in free fall, usually in microgravity.
Oh, okay.
That's probably exactly what we need then.
You have an the exact focus you need right now to rapidly propel yourself the rest of the distance.
Excellent. So Nigel's gonna float all the way up to the bridge then.
I believe it's a focus.
So you have to roll it, right?
So I still need a roll.
Yeah.
You'll get a what is it? A +2 for having a focus.
It looks like it's a dexterity roll.
That's dexterity roll,
Yeah,
because
it's a
I don't actually
dexterity
have that on my
focus.
sheet. So what I'll do then is I'll roll dexterity and we can add 2 then.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
good.
fine.
Look at that. It's the same roll as Carter.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you whatever grumbling to yourself about the situation, push yourself back out into the center, and then just like both hands start launching yourself straight up or along. There's no up in space to the bridge, and so as you like come up into the bridge and arrest your fall or your momentum, you can see that all of the spaces are currently occupied, but you are now on the bridge.
Chester, seeing him there and knowing he's kind of useless, is gonna in this situation is gonna pop off of his chair and gesture for Nigel to sit down.
Okay. All right. So you guys can be in the process of exchanging. Anybody have anything else they want to do as this is happening?
Well, we need to get
gonna-
Rebecca into her seat. Her character's still down there. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to move the token. Yes, she was moving.
I would like to try to search my corpse again incompetently.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another. You've got a hold on it now.
Yes.
Ooh, that was a 6 on a drama die. Yep. Okay. And don't forget on these things, you can be using fortune to change the outcome of your roll. That's not just a combat thing.
That's
I don't
a thing
think
we can do.
Mm-hmm. But when you do, that increases the turn counter.
And also decreases your effective hit points.
Yes.
We're all blood hunters.
Okay. On a 13, you manage to find this individual's and the word escapes me. Basically, their phone.
Terminal.
The terminal. Thank you.
You can say phone though. We know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that you manage. I try to be in setting as much as possible, but you find their terminal, and that can get used a lot of times as kind of an access card or an access key. It wouldn't be uncommon, so you'd probably be able to do something with that.
Yes. There's nowhere to like plug it in or anything. Is it? And I'm not familiar enough to say like, is there like somewhere, like almost wireless like proximity type thing?
They have. I know they have Bluetooth stuff, but I don't know if that's going to work with whatever's going on with our communications jamming.
Well,
So-
and sometimes what they do is they have their hand on their terminal and then they flick it and the information goes to the nearest computer.
Yeah, but you'd have to have the terminal unlocked. If only we had a computer guy on the bridge.
I poke the terminal to see if it's on and unlocked.
I would say with a 6 on the drama die, it would appear that this particular individual did not have any sort of like screen timeout security lock on their terminal.
He's got like a mobile game up. It's kept the screen open. It's playing Candy Crushers.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the Expanse equivalent of Candy Crush is currently like displayed. It's unlocked.
So I would try to like flip through there and see if there's some sort of obvious type I don't know, cipher or like notepad, like don't forget this word.
Password.txt.
Roll. They just roll an intelligence technology.
Oh man.
I think is reasonably appropriate here. You don't manage to find the sticky note with the password on it. but you have it now.
I would. Have I used too many free actions to send this over to Nigel?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
you could probably give it a toss, and just be like, "Hey, heads up," and.
Does Nigel even know what we want him to do right now?
No.
I don't think anyone's told him.
So, as Nigel arrives,
Make it go.
and him and Chester kind of swap out, I'd have to wait for him to plug in, and then be like, "Nigel, we need the weapons unlocked, and here's a crew terminal," and kind of free float it over to him.
I would love it if he didn't plug in. You just threw it to him and he starts playing the game.
Level 700. Oh my god.
I haven't gotten to this level yet.
Oh man.
So Nigel gets into the chair and plugs in, and not knowing what's going on, has a terminal smack him in the face visor of his suit.
Yeah.
And wonders and looks at Bossman and goes, "Bossman, what do you want?"
We need the PDCs unlocked now.
Guns. So okay, Nigel then grabs the terminal, and first off, we're going to search the terminal, right?
I think so. We're looking for the password, or I mean, I guess you could
Or
hack
some
it
sort
directly.
of authorization.
Yeah,
Or I can hack
you
it,
have exactly the information that Nigel has. You have a terminal, and you've been told to unlock the guns.
Chester
Sure,
overhears.
These two things are connected.
Chester overhears the conversation and, marveling at Carter's communication skills, says, "Nigel, there's another ship out there. We want to be able to control this ship, including the weapons. I know that. Actually, I don't know if Carter. I don't know about the terminal, do I? Because did I see him pull it out?
Retroactively, just I'd say it was pretty like the fact like it was being chucked across the room was pretty obvious. So I think that yeah.
Okay, so we basically need the ship unlocked so that we can operate it. I think that terminal belonged to one of the crew members. Maybe it's got some information on it. Failing that, maybe you can sneak your way into the ship systems because you're skilled in that area? Question?
Nigel just looks at Chester.
I'm on the lower deck.
Imaginary looks at the floor, looking at where Chester is supposed to be, and shakes his head and looks at the terminal and goes, "Well, this should be easy." And so then, question to the GM: can I use my intelligence technology bonus? It says here on the hacking novice that I should be able to use intelligence technology and focus instead of communication and investigation, to use the terminal to search the ship for its own password. So I'm hacking the ship with the captain's terminal.
Oh man.
Well, that I didn't have the captain. Chester had the captain. That was just a crewman's.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
You can use the intelligence technology focus. Yeah, I think that would work. You now have, because Nigel is definitely aware that folks tend to use their terminal as like a key or something like that. So it very well could be that what you need is here with the terminal. But it'll kind of be, you're doing both things at the same time.
Excellent. I know I was good at this.
I mean, the dice will decide that.
Dun dun dun. He's good at this.
Yeah. So you kind of with one hand you're flipping through some stuff on the terminal, and then with the other, because you have your own like modified terminal, don't you, that you carry?
Yes, but they don't really know about.
Yeah. I mean, but as far as anybody else like they know you have a terminal, they just don't know what it's capable of, right?
Yeah.
It's basically like you're running some programs, you've unlocked it, jailbroken it, and then you've got some stuff running that most people don't. And so like with one hand you've got this, and then you pull out your other one, And even with whatever's going on blocking your comms, you can get them close enough that they can, talk to each other. And it is child's play for you to just go straight through this thing, and then you manage to, like, all of the terminals then get unlocked. So all of you up on the bridge see that the terminal that you're sitting at, basically the login screen disappears, and you're actually getting information now. It would appear that the ship is now under your control. And at some point in here, that, like, sneaking in all of the conversation, you do get a check-in from Rebecca, who's now strapped in and plugged in, that she's set.
Chester sees the screen inform him that he's now able to instruct the food processors to order him various types of kibble.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good
menu.
sign.
Well, and I think, like,
Chester, do we have
at least in
coffee?
the show, a lot of the other positions, there were screens and terminals that were on arms that would swing around, and so I think, Chester, you could at least get some information pulled to you.
Yeah, I'm just in the galley.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do, but you are able to pull up and you can start getting some information about what's going on.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna, now that it's unlocked, I'm gonna pull up the gunnery systems.
Mm-hmm.
Try to bring the PDCs online. Again, I say try because we've seen my rolls.
Oh man.
Oh, I mean,
And,
at this point, it's not terribly difficult. The screen comes over, and it's kind of just you get them activated. You're in the system now. It would seem.
Question.
And then swivel the telescopes over to look at the Bard and the drive plume that's coming in.
There we go.
Okay. And I think, Nigel, did you have something?
No, I had something. I was.
Oh.
Do we want to try to talk to the Shakespeare with our advanced communication system on our spaceship that is much better than our space suits?
Well, I'm not trying to shoot them down. I'm just trying to bring the systems up. I assume that someone in the communications type area.
I can get you coffee, man. I'm on the galley.
To start throwing bulbs of coffee out through the top.
Milk, no sugar.
Oh my gosh. Chester orders up some coffee from the dispenser. Black.
June or Nigel, would you please try to raise the Shakespeare or whoever that other ship is and find out what's going on?
I will try and get in touch with Carol. Give me a second.
Hi, Carol.
So, June does the thing, I guess. I don't know, like, if...
Access the communication systems.
Yeah.
A roll is going to be involved.
I figured, which is why I didn't say anything more.
Just a matter of which one. If you have something that you think would apply, because it'll be a matter of cutting through whatever interference or jamming is currently active.
Well, I have a 3 in communication.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's right, you're Trixie.
Yeah, I'm a negotiator. I'm not an accountant. He said accountant earlier, but...
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It was a different character that said I was an accountant.
I said she was an accountant
Gotcha.
because she told me I was a
Yeah.
preacher.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have got a 3 in communication and I have a 2 in perception. So, preferably one of those things.
Okay, let me see what...
I'm just laughing because I have persuasion as a focus in communications. I'd like to persuade the jamming to let up.
I'm going to ask very nicely.
Yeah, I have deception. I can deceive it into letting me get there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you sweet, sweet interference signal.
Yeah,
How about
pretty
you come
much.
over here with me?
Yeah.
She is attractive.
Well, okay. You would have a couple of options. In order to directly communicate with the Bard, I think it's fair to say that, like, radio broadcast pretty easy to block. Direct, what is it? The laser
Laser
Direct
comms.
direct laser
yeah.
comms can still be disrupted, but you've got to get them set up. All of that is more like technology based. What you could also attempt to do would be basically start throwing some communication out there and trying to convince whoever has the jamming up to turn the jamming off by kind of aiming some communication lasers out at this other ship and hoping that they listen.
I really don't want to talk to these other people.
That's fair.
The negotiator doesn't want to negotiate.
Well, she doesn't want to because as far as she knows, they don't know that
anyone's on this ship.
Anyone's on this ship, and she doesn't want to call attention to themselves if they're, so. She would really, really, really want to get in contact with the people she knows.
Okay. That'll be more of a intelligence technology check or something of that nature. Because you're having to, it's a matter of like the direct laser communication, you already have to be pretty exact to line everything up. And with whatever jamming is going on, it's even more so.
Okay, well, I'm cool with the intelligence because I've got a 2 in that, so I'll do that. Well, that's unfortunate. And I'm not using any fortune because I used a lot of it earlier.
Yeah, I'm seeing you're down to 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you go to get it set up and you're not getting the automated oh hey yeah, you've got a connection established at
called
this
a
point.
handshake.
There you go. The handshake is it's not quite lined up or whatever this jamming is. I don't know how you would jam something like this at a distance, but sure, it's being done.
She missed. She missed the port with the laser. She's not the communications person.
The ship still has a little bit of a rotation to it, and that's making it a little bit more difficult to get things lined up. I am also going to note we are at the hour-and-a-half mark,
yes.
At least according to my timer. So
I
think
indeed.
We'll take a quick. Everybody just need 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Just a quick break
I'm good
here.
for 5
Yeah,
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yep.
All right. And then I'll stick around for a little bit and talk to chat.
Mm-hmm.
So hello, chat. Are you enjoying the? Are you all enjoying the game, chat? This is intermission. Let me put up the intermission screen.
Targeting lasers at people, much like cocking a gun, is not like it is in the films where it's a polite go away. It's a I'm about to shoot at you.
And then so they fire first, yeah.
Well,
I mean, especially at the distances and speeds here.
What we should be doing is checking for a transponder on the incoming flare, because if a ship doesn't have a transponder, they're bad.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm not going to tell anybody what to do
also-
because I'm in the galley, okay? I'm the medic, the cook, and the sometimes preacher man, I guess. I'm the paladin.
Anyway, how's that coffee coming?
That's what I was saying. There's probably some display, like you'd be able to get access. There's
I
things
know.
you can do from there.
I know, but it's funny to me that all maybe I'm in the wrong seat. Like maybe the one next to me has some command functions, but the one I'm in, I'm like I can make coffee, I can get stuff ready, I can turn the air conditioning on.
Turn the lights on and off.
I'm just thinking, we come back down after whatever happens,
little swing.
I mean, I'm sure you could afford a little swing. I don't know if they
Well, you
make
have
them
a
big
hammock.
enough for you. Yeah, don't you have a hammock?
I do have a hammock, but it's outside in the backyard. I can't. I probably could fit it down here.
I was thinking the other
No.
day that there's a missed market for sort of something like that swing, but for adults.
Yeah. It's like a bed that rocks back
Is it
and
more
forth.
work to set the computer up outside so you can stream from or you can play from the hammock, or to bring the hammock inside and set it up and try to arrange things?
He lives in Massachusetts. Massachusetts in the fall, you don't want to be outside.
Well,
That's
no,
fair.
in the fall you do want to be. The winter, no, but also the computer is bolted to my wall, so
That would make it difficult.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we are ready to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. So June just missed with the comm laser. And
missed.
what?
And missed.
Yeah, just missed with the comm laser. And then all right. So we've got a ship coming in. We don't know what it is. We can't talk to the bard. We can barely talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to take a look at
sums it
my.
up.
I
I'm
would
going to
like
take a look
to.
at my sensors
Yes, Thomas.
display and see what's there.
See if you can see a transponder on that ship.
Roger that.
Okay. Yeah, that would be easy enough to do, and it would be displaying. It's not coming across as military of any sort. But it would, I don't know, it wouldn't still be USS, but whatever the prefix would be. But it's coming across as the Wasp.
The Wasp. I hate wasps.
Wasps
And-
eat dead things. I don't like it.
It's also pretty, like, I would think from the piloting terminal, getting a plot and figuring out where things are and how quickly they're going to get where they're going. The whoever is helming that ship is making a beeline for where this ship and the Bard are sitting.
You mean a wasp line?
There you go.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Give her a DE ding.
Ding ding.
Well, in that case, I'm going to start shifting us over towards the Bard on the assumption that, as we now have PVCs, if something does get thrown at us, I can screen both ships.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Just tapping with thrusters. I'm not lighting off the main drive yet.
Okay, are you attempting... Are you trying to do this in such a fashion that it might maintain the fiction that the ship is not ready for
Yeah, I'm not, sort of I'm not being too energetic. I'm just gently nudging it over to sort of ideally interpose this ship with the Bard.
Okay.
But yeah, doing it gently.
That will be a piloting check, since you're trying to fly casual.
Yeah.
No, that's an advanced move.
So what is that? Yeah, dexterity piloting.
So I'm just going to click this and just so I can reread what it does. Yeah, it's that. Okay.
Okay.
Crushes it.
Yeah.
We don't know the target number, so let him do the thing.
No, I mean, for folks that might not be as familiar with the system, the scale runs like a routine check is the target number is a 7, all the way up to nigh impossible at 21. So an 18 lands squarely between formidable and imposing.
I was gonna say it's 3 6s basically.
Yeah, you're right up there against the top end of what is possible. And so Thomas is able to, like, the ship already had a little bit of a spin to it as it was sitting there. And then using that is deftly just firing off some of the maneuvering thrusters to less physically move the ship and just make sure that the line of fire between you and the Bard would be clear. So if you needed to then light off PDCs to intercept projectiles or something, and you're reasonably confident that it was done in such a way that somebody would have to be really carefully be paying attention to see that you did it.
Roger that.
Can I try to contact the Bard again?
Yep, go ahead and roll it.
Yay!
Oh, I think you
Yep, it was intelligence, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
That's much better.
Yeah. This time, whether it's the fact that the ship is, it's rotating, it's more under control now, but you are able to get that handshake, and almost as soon as you do, you get the voice of Carol, the captain, coming across. Essentially asking if you have, like, how do I want to do this?
Oh, those words make me nervous.
Not as nervous as roll for initiative.
Oh, thank goodness. We were, worried that we hadn't heard from you, and then the jamming. Is everybody over there okay?
Yes, everybody's alive. As far as our crew goes, there was something that went down over here, but we're okay. Are you guys okay?
Thus far, yes. Don't know a lot. We just got a broadcast that Silas Hamilton on the Wasp was incoming, and we were to prepare to be boarded. We didn't want to do anything without being able to talk to you.
Do they know that we're over here?
They haven't seen. I've tried to reach out to them, and they haven't seemed to be interested in talking.
Did any communication that you had with them seem friendly or not so friendly?
Definitely in the not so friendly category.
Okay.
Would you like us to do something about it, Captain?
This ship is on. Well, actually, is this an open channel with all of us, or is it just to June?
I think it would just be to me, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. But you asked what I was about to ask anyway. What do you want us to do? And you should be advised that this ship is armed.
That changes things. How armed are we talking?
Give me a second. Hey, Thomas.
Mute.
Yep.
Yeah. Thomas,
Was it June?
how armed are we?
Looks like we've got a full set of EDCs and we've got a set of torpedoes.
Okay.
I don't want to give a number so we don't end up like Star Trek Voyager.
We have 39 torpedoes.
Supplies, as far as like PDC ammo and overall supplies like that, in the system are held kind of loose.
Yes.
And it becomes a narrative thing. Like, that's one of the things that the churn can throw at you is suddenly, oh, you're at 15% on your PDC ammo, or you've got 2 torpedoes left. So.
Okay. She unmutes for all intents and purposes. Says, "Okay, Captain. I'm told that we have quite a few PDCs, full armament of PDCs, and we've got torpedoes as well."
Okay.
Actually, that's a point. Because I realised I just said the full set of PDCs. I'm assuming just looking at the model. However, that correct? Do we have full coverage of PDCs, or do we just have it in one direction?
No, you have full coverage PDC.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then the torpedo is, because you would know this now, it's a torpedo tube 1, so you can only field one shot at a time, but you do have it.
Yay, torpedo.
Okie dokie.
Anyway, Captain, I will wait on your decision, but we're here to support.
Well, the Bard's not in any shape to fight. So I'm inclined to run for it. If you think you can cover for us.
Well, we've got Thomas aboard. Thomas is pretty awesome at his job. I think that we can do that. Let me get a consensus, but you're the boss. June relays this information to the rest of the crew. Just, hey, the captain is thinking she wants to run from the Wasp. Are you all okay with running cover?
Heck yeah.
Roger that. Good to go.
They'll be the spear and we'll be the shield.
Okay.
Chester just kind of he's very nervous because he's not nervous, but he's wondering why he's here again.
Reviewing his life decisions.
I'm reviewing
that
my
led
life
him to this moment.
decisions. He orders some chocolate because he noticed that there's one piece of chocolate in the inventory.
There
and he
is
has
no chocolate on inventory.
son of a biscuit.
I have biscuits in my pockets. I brought snacks.
He reaches out and grabs the nearest bulb of whatever to drink there is and just starts sucking it down.
Does Rebecca have any sort of input?
Rebecca is kind of along for the ride. She's like, basically all you get out of her is she's continuing as best as she can to try to restore life support from her current position. It's going slowly, but yeah, she is in no position to argue with whatever you guys decide to do.
Okay.
All right, everyone, should we get the Wasp attention off the Bard?
Let me talk to the captain. Let me talk to the captain. So she gets back on. Hey, Captain, we've got the cruise support, and anything that you decide, we will back you up.
Well, they definitely come across as pirates, and I'm not inclined to leave my ship or crew at the mercy of anybody like that. So I think running for it's going to be the way to go, and unless you think that ship over there would stand up to a knife fight, but and you would get kicked across to you, and then it would probably get repeated over to Thomas. Basically, you're getting fed what her plan, like her trajectory, her plot, is coming up.
I'm trying to think like Chester and not like me, because I know what I would do.
Yep. Would you like to? Is it we're gunning and running, or she's running and then we're gunning if we have to?
The Shakespeare has partial PDC cover, and so she is just going to put the foot down and haul.
Okay.
Trying to get away as fast as possible. A ship that size is not designed for combat, and it would not end well.
Well, the cap wants us to
And
fight.
she
I
would,
can
the
fight.
other thing that she would relay to you is that, you're over there. You know what that ship can do. I'll try to give you a heads up before we go, and then you do what you think is best. And then essentially you're also getting an idea of where she would plan to rendezvous, depending on how all this goes.
Okay.
Yeah, how much of this is being relayed to people other than Thomas and June?
If June wanted to, she could set this up so it was an open. It would be routed to everybody on the ship, if she wanted.
I think after that initial contact, she probably would have mid-message at least started a broadcast.
Okay. Open mic night. So are we fighting? Are we going into combat against pirates? What's happening? I thought we were
Looks
just
like
salvaging the ship.
We've got a bogey blowing in hard towards us. Looks like a pirate, according to the captain.
I mean, don't they usually just take some supplies and go and leave people in peace? Like, isn't this escalating things?
Sure, that's sure what it looks like happened over here, buddy.
Yeah, it depends. If we're talking the board kind of pirates, they might just send everyone for a spacewalk without a suit just for the heck of it.
You want to leave it up to them? You want to leave your fate up to them, or do you want to take it? Do we want to take this into our own hands?
It just always seems like it ends up with people having to die, and I don't. I have an
Everybody dies,
idea.
Chester.
I have
You
an
have
idea.
an idea.
While the Padre is having an internal crisis, Chester, Carter, how close are they now? I'm assuming Carter's on the sort of the ops console still.
Yep. What kind of time frame are we looking at, Squirrel? On them cut on like intercept or to like weapons range?
I mean, if we can see them, they're in torpedo range.
Yeah. And vice versa, potentially.
Yes.
I'd say they're probably at the edge of, what is that, medium range?
So they're coming in fast, Thomas. The captain's already said she doesn't want to let them on the Bard. As soon as they light up their drives, I say we paint that ship with our targeting lasers and pull their attention. We got a better chance than the Bard ever will in getting the Bard to get away.
Sounds good. My only other thought is we play possum, wait until they're a bit closer, and then surprise them.
Chester had an idea.
My idea. Chester doesn't want to say the idea because it's going to involve killing lots of people, and he's struggling with that.
Yeah, Chester is a Martian. Chester might have a good idea.
Well, I mean, Carter's a Martian too.
Sure.
No, sorry, Thomas is a Martian too.
Thomas,
That's why
yeah.
he wants to kill things. So if the Bard were to lay low and allow them alongside, but not have them actually hard dock, and the other ship were to stop to match trajectories, that would line them up rather nicely for our PDCs, wouldn't it?
It would, assuming that they don't open fire with their PDCs once they're in range of the Bard and just rip it apart.
If the Bard isn't moving?
Yeah, they could put a burst through the drive cone to keep it still.
All right, well, that
Whatever
was my
happens,
only
the Bard
idea.
needs to
I'm
rest.
just...
Go ahead, if somebody wants to, go ahead and roll a intelligence tactics. And more than one person can roll on this if they would like, as you're all kind of looking at this situation.
I've got tactical awareness, but I don't know quite how it applies to the situation. No, that doesn't really apply.
Yeah, that's more of a... Okay.
Looks like June has
combat,
the best
yeah.
idea, which is funny. I guess combat and negotiations aren't that far apart.
June, you're definitely aware. I'd say Chester, you're probably up there as well. Like, at most of you... Well, I guess let me start at the top. June, you know pirates are motivated by money. Believe it or not. And so they generally attempt to avoid it damaging if they're trying to capture a ship, because then it's harder to sell it or use it. But there are some, as has been mentioned, that don't really care. And that they will shoot, kill, disable, and maim. There's terrible, nasty people out there that do terrible, nasty things. and you don't really have a lot of information about what these folks want, other than what the captain told you, that they appear to be planning to board at least one, if not both, of these ships. And that would lead you to believe that they probably want to take things intact, but how they'll react when things start to happen, you don't know.
Okay. So, she's listening to all of these ideas. And then she just kind of goes, in my time as a negotiator, I've come across a couple of shady lowlives. And I would hazard a guess that if these pirates, if they are pirates, are looking to board, they probably don't want anything really damaged. That leads me to believe that they probably aren't going to fire if they don't have to. So I would really rather not be the first ones to fire, because that will immediately make us a target. Perhaps we kind of allow what Chester thought and have them at least line up and see where it goes, so that they don't. I don't want the bard to be shot at, and I don't want to make the first shot.
I mean, I'm just a passenger, so I mean...
Sure, but you had a good idea, Chester. Thank you for your input.
We don't
I'm
have
more
to
than
take
happy
the
to let
first
them in.
shot.
What is that, sir?
We don't have to take the first shot.
I think we should.
They think the bard is a big, fat, juicy target that they can rip off. They either don't know we're here, or they do know we're here, and they're playing whatever. I'm saying we can paint them with our targeters and let them know, hey, the bard isn't out here by itself. And maybe they'll leave.
Or maybe we
won't have
dissolve in
to
a hail of torpedo and PDC fire ourselves.
We have torpedoes and PDCs too. And there's a lot more people alive on the bard right now than there is on this ship.
That's
and if
true.
that helps get the bard away, then I'm fine with that.
So you want to posture, sir?
I would prefer to posture than let them get within 50 meters of the bard.
Should I ask the captain first?
It's her crew. It's her ship. So is
Well,
this, technically.
Well,
If we have to take the shot and they are close, we could risk blowing up the bard if the reactor goes on that second ship anyway.
You can check with the captain, but I'm pretty sure her plan is to burn hard. I'm assuming once everyone's in place, she's going to light off the engines.
Well, she did say she wanted to run.
Yeah, that was what the plan was. If you are then going to attempt to ask the captain to hold tight until they get closer, you're probably going to be rolling to try to persuade her to do so.
Okay.
I would also be concerned if I was a pirate and I saw a fat, juicy target just staying there, not even trying to run. I'd be thinking something's up.
Okay. Well, in this situation, I am not sure exactly what to do. I can negotiate which way you want me to, I suppose, but our lives and our crew's lives over there are kind of relying on us. And that's a lot of responsibility that I don't want to shoulder myself.
Unfortunately, Carter's in charge as the second officer, so we just do what he says, I guess.
All right, we're going to posture.
Okay.
So at that point, Carter would flip on the targeting lasers and aim them at the Wasp.
Okay.
Thomas, get the engines ready. And everyone
Roger
else,
that.
get ready to get crushed.
I
Okay.
hate this part.
All right. So you bring up the targeting systems, and you're reading that you do have torpedoes loaded and ready should you decide to use them, and you light the Wasp up from your current position. Did anybody relay to Captain Carroll exactly what you were planning to do?
I waited to see what was going to happen
And
because
then
there was
Carter
a lot of
pushed the button.
talking. Yeah, there was a lot of talking, and then Carter flipped the switch. So I
He's
was
a
about
man
to
of
do that.
action.
So
We
but
should
I was,
warn them away.
Yeah,
All of them.
but
Everyone stay
was-
away.
Yeah, I was about to relay to the captain, but I was waiting for crosstalk to die down.
Nope, that's okay. And I mean, you can be doing that while he's doing this.
Okay.
And there's not an immediate reaction from the Wasp as this happens, as if perhaps they weren't expecting to get lit up by targeting sensors.
We
So
should
you
have shot
do
him.
have a moment to kind of fill the captain in and set things in motion.
Oh man, we're gonna die.
Well,
on the
I did
second
that
one.
then because I feel like most people are in for the action. So
Are we gonna warn off the pirates? Are we gonna try and tell them, hey, get the heck out?
I mean, I don't have
Well, we're still being jammed.
I don't have a comm link to them.
That's true.
I mean,
I
targeting
linked to the
lasers are pretty.
I guess
firm.
that's
It's
anyway.
pretty firm. You should go somewhere else.
All right.
The bard is behind me.
You are in front of me somewhere else.
So you do relay to the captain that you're going to try to basically take the attention off of the bard. So you're going to have your opening. Go for it.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Yes, that I just want to clarify
Yes.
if the captain is being told
Yes.
what's happening. Okay.
Yes.
Run, you big lumbering steed, run!
Yeah, because June is very much a negotiator and knows that the captain is still the captain. As much as the man in charge here wants to be in charge, the captain is still the captain. Needs to know.
Right. So you get an acknowledgement. And again, nothing happens for a moment. And then a couple of things happen all at once.
Oh boy.
First, you see the bard. The bard doesn't do anything quickly. I'll go ahead and put that out there. But as quickly as the bard is capable of doing, it swings around and the drive just lights off. So it's accelerating as fast as it is capable of doing. At the same time, let's see, how would they have responded to this? You would detect a torpedo launch, but it's far enough away you don't know exactly who and where it's directed to. So let me bring up the fancy smancy if I can remember how to do
I knew
this.
he was gonna use it today. Oh man.
I think I have to remember how to do this whole tile thing. Nope, that's going to upload another one.
And with ship combat, we don't roll for initiative because everything's happening at the same time, right?
I believe so. There's a
Yeah.
command roll that'll get done. There.
Well, let me just switch over to the battle music.
So don't we have a sheet for the ship? Question mark.
Yeah, at this point, we would know what the ship is, right? I mean,
Yes, I will make that available to you in just a moment.
okay.
Okay, no, I thought it had already been made available. Oh no, that was in the test we were doing.
Okay, so I think I need to do... There we go. That's how this works.
I'm just
Place
watching
the
the Game
tile.
Master thing going all over the place.
I have to remember how to push the buttons. Okay. I can move this, because I figure we probably don't... Well, where would it make the most sense on your end, DE? To put
Just off to,
tracker down.
off to the side of the ship map, just so the ship map is there.
like that?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
A little bigger. And then I need a token.
And we don't know what the target of that torpedo is.
You do not.
Although, we're not picking up targeting lasers ourselves. So that might answer the question.
And it launched rather quickly. Sorry, this is all out of character.
Yeah.
Which makes me think...
Oh, that didn't work.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
That
I'm
is
pretty sure it's going to the Bard.
Thanks for bearing with us,
There we go.
everybody. It's we've never done this before. The ship
First
combat,
time.
really. At least not live on stream. So they've fired a torpedo.
Yes. If there was any concern about making the first shot, that ship has now sailed, or that torpedo, quite literally, has launched.
All right.
Space combat.
And they're at
I
medium
forget-
range still?
Yes. That's
Okay.
why I'm just getting flipped over to my combat section, so I can
So
remember
stream how this
all of
works is
supposed
torpedoes
to
are
look.
long-range weapons and there are three
So what
range
is it? When they're
bands.
fired at short range, they're not interceptable?
Correct.
It's at long range.
No, long range it can't be
Because they're
intercepted.
moving so fast.
Gotcha.
Well, they are interceptable. They just can't be dodged.
Yeah, they're not dodgeable.
Yeah, your
short and
PDCs
medium.
can still shoot them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So how this works? So torpedoes can fire at long range, medium range, or short range. They're at medium range, which means anything launched this round will not hit until next round. The way this works is there's a command round, there's a E-war round, there's a weapons round, and then there's a damage round of each combat round. It all happens at the same time on both ships because space combat is really fast and terrifying. So the torpedo will hit its target next round unless it is intercepted or dodged. We are out of range of PDCs. We are in range of torpedoes and railguns. The fact that no railgun was fired is a good sign, means probably not a railgun on that ship, but that's also all metagaming right there, so nobody necessarily knows that except for maybe Thomas, who I think has done this shooty thing before in the military.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll be happy real quick.
Catherine, Ewok run, E-war,
configure
electronic
permissions.
warfare.
Give everybody... Okay, there now should be a sheet for an unidentified ship available to all of you that I think has everything filled in.
Where would that be?
On the actors screen, or tab, the actors directory. Unless I have my permissions.
Nope,
borked
I don't
up.
see anything except for the player characters. Ewok warfare. How you doing, Catherine?
Oh, you know what? I probably did.
We're still
Let's
getting.
try this again.
We're still getting ready for
Save
combat
this
here.
time.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
Loveo, Loveo.
Right. And then I need to drag.
Well, it's not an unidentified ship. It's the Wasp.
No, this is our ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't get to see what the other ship has.
Okay, so I'm assuming Thomas is the pilot. I'll go ahead
Indeed.
and put Carter in as the captain. I have sensor operator, and I have... Oops, I need to move... NPCs named Rebecca, because I'm assuming you're going to have her as engineer.
Yes.
I'm in the galley, so it's just going to be June on sensors, I think.
Okay, that's up to you.
If that's what June
I mean,
wants
it
to
could
do.
be it could be Nigel.
Yeah, could go either
Oh
way.
yeah.
Who has the higher intelligence score?
My intelligence is 2.
So is mine, but I have a tech bonus.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah, there we
should
go.
do it.
Okay. Junior and I are passengers on this trip.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's still things that potentially you can do.
If there were communications, that's what I would be.
Well, we'll get to that. So a torpedo is launched.
We're doing all right, Catherine.
And then, so the Bard has taken off. A torpedo is launched in this general direction. You're not sure exactly where it's tracking yet. And then the jamming gets dropped, and you hear a voice being broadcast over kind of an open frequency. I don't know what you're playing at over there, but Shut down, or you're all gonna die.
Well, I think Scarlet is still AFK.
I think he's AFK, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
My
captain is
apologies.
AFK.
Yeah, so I can't. Our hot-headed captain is not
It's
here.
just like, I'm going to push a button and light him up.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Welcome back.
You're not from Mars.
Well, to be fair, not the most hot-headed out of all of us.
That's true.
We just got a message from the Wasp telling us to.
We're telling the Bard to heave to, or that torpedo is going to go right up their tailpipe.
Oh, I thought it was to us saying we're not.
It's been broadcast like openly. It's not.
Okay.
This wasn't a direct laser connection. The jamming drops, and then just over like general radio is what you're hearing.
Okay, and just we don't know what you're playing at, but stop,
Pretty much.
power down.
Because you guys, or at least some of you, it would be up to you as players to decide who might know this. Torpedoes can be remote detonated. So that's also a thing that can happen as a aggressive negotiation is you put one out and then you can always blow it up before it hits its target. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will jump to whoever wants to make the command roll. So that is a communication leadership.
Well, I have
Carter, I
communication.
assume.
I think Carter has leadership, doesn't he?
I do not. I have persuasion.
Yeah, and I have deception.
Oh. I guess June should have been the captain. I just put Carter in as the captain because he's the one who's in charge right now.
Well, just because you're the captain doesn't mean you have all the skills.
Yeah. So, I can make that roll.
Well, is that how it works, or does it have to be the captain that makes the roll?
At the start of each round of combat, the character in command of the ship can make a TN-11 communications leadership.
Okay, then it has to be
Has
Scarlet.
to be Carter. Yeah, he's in command.
All right.
We can vote you out later.
Yes. I also like the idea of who's in charge being a question
Yeah.
that has to be answered. Okay, that is a no. You don't have the stunt point. The other ship is going to roll.
Oh no, little girl. Come here. Come here. Hey, little snug.
I'm just going to do it this way.
The baby fussing has begun, just letting everyone know. There may be a point where Nab or myself have to step away.
That's
Do we
what I
know
want.
what kind of ship the Wasp is? The Wasp is the name, I'm assuming.
Yes.
At this point, all we
and-
know about her is that she has torpedoes.
Yep.
And
It's okay.
oh well, we're into combat now. We're past talking, right?
I mean, maybe. It was thrown out there that there seems to be the possibility that if everybody stops whatever it is they're playing at, because a torpedo was launched and then you were also told, stand down or everybody's going to die.
Captain, the Captain Carol isn't going to stop. She's running.
I
Yeah.
would expect not.
And my thought is to counter their move with our own move, and then basically call them back and tell them if we die, you die.
So
Wow. I was
launch a
gonna say,
torpedo and be like, "No, you."
Okay.
Yes, basically. I do have
I would say
I do
launch-
have communication persuasion and oratory. I'm not sure what
So,
oratory is.
That's only for groups of people.
Command rolls have been done, so we now are on to maneuver. I can tell you with absolute certainty, the Bard is maneuvering to GTFO, and so is going to attempt to move from medium to long range. So that's an opposed test from that side.
Are we matching maneuvers with the Bard to cover her?
That's the question.
I would
say yes.
I would say maneuver to intercept anything between the Wasp and the Bard.
Okay. So yeah, we're staying with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So I also need a roll from you guys against them. So that is going to be, I believe, an opposed piloting.
Sorry.
Need to roll for the other ship. It's of that. There we go.
Catherine, that's hilarious.
Does my focus count towards that, or because I clicked the button in the ship loadout rather than?
I would believe it would, because if you have a focus in piloting,
Piloting adds 2, right?
Yes.
focus would be +2. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that makes you a 19. Tommy boy, good at flying spaceship.
Okay, you would gather that the ship coming at you is probably about the same size as you are, so that doesn't change anything. And you succeed. So you and the Bard are able to maneuver to long range from the other target. I will note, as for those that are watching, this doesn't do anything for the torpedo tracker, because that just gets to be a nightmare to try to track. It's always it'll arrive based on where it was, the relation when it was launched.
Torpedoes are way faster than ships, and they're always
Yes.
way faster than ships.
Yeah. So it's not, you can potentially outrun them, but that becomes a totally different
Test.
thing.
Yeah.
This is just finding out where you are in relation. But it seems that you were able to pull into long range. So if you can pull it off again, you might be able to get away from them entirely. And now we move into electronic warfare. So that is going to be an intelligence technology plus sensors.
Oh yeah, Nigel
I'm
did it.
I'm gonna roll the sensor thing, and then we're adding my tech bonus to it, right?
If
hopefully
you
gonna
have
help.
a technology focus, you get the +2.
I do. I have the technology focus and intelligence.
Okay. So that is total roll of 13. With the
Our
+2.
sensors are bad.
So you succeed. So you will gain a bonus equal to half of the drama die, round up, so 1, which can be applied to either all defensive actions or the TN to evade the winning ship's attacks on that round.
Okay, so that doesn't do anything for us on this round, right? Because
Not on this round.
This is still the torpedo launched round.
Yes. Weapon attacks, there are none, because it hasn't arrived yet.
Well, wait, do we get to shoot this round?
Oh, if you would like to.
Well, I would like to.
I definitely would like to respond in kind.
Please tell them something at the same time. Please give us a speech.
Well, I was going to suggest that June hops on the comms and tries to tell them we're a UNN warship, because she's got an Earther accent. If she needs help with the sort of the naval vocabulary, I can walk her through that.
One second. June in real life is feeding a baby.
That's quite all right.
I think maybe instead of a UNN ship, maybe a private security. Because for all we know,
I mean, we're in telescope range. I can see we're not UNN.
Well, you say that, but we could be a secret Black Ops ship, in which case they're in even more trouble.
More likely, we're one of their ships.
So, question about the torpedoes. Is this torpedo being launched in the same round as the other torpedo, so being launched at medium range? Or is it after the maneuver, so it's being launched at long range?
I'm putting it down as after the maneuver.
Okay.
If the very first thing that you had told me before we kind of got started through
I wasn't saying it should be. I was just clarifying, so I understood.
That's how I was approaching it.
Okay.
Okay, so that means that torp is going to go. So are we the bottom then?
Yes, I don't have them set up, but there are some different. I've got to figure out how to use all of the trackers. But at this point, the top is.
I think it should be over on the 2 rounds one. It should actually be all the way on the right.
Sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. I was reading left to right as I have been trained to do since.
Yes, no,
birth.
I agree. I think the torpedo tracker should be flipped around, but whatever.
I think the idea is you'd have the name or a picture of the ship, and so it's slowly marching closer. But yeah, I might see if I can. I don't know if we can get that mirrored and flipped around or something. But my apologies.
No worries.
Okay, so June gets on the now clear airways and says, hello there. We respectfully are disinclined to acquiesce to your request. We have ourselves some targets painted all over your ship, and we ask that you be the ones to stand down, or you die too.
And then fire the torpedo.
She literally just said no you.
Pretty much. Go ahead and roll for me. It's definitely communication.
Persuasion. Come on, persuasion.
I mean,
I have deception, not persuasion.
Oh, darn. Well, communication is good.
This is definitely coming across as more of a threat. I'm just not sure if there is a focus for communications threaten.
Well, she doesn't have that
there should
focus
be.
Anyway.
There isn't, and that's just wrong.
Intimidation, really? Huh. I wonder if intimidation is under something else.
Possibly. But, I mean, the question on the focus then comes down to the intent. Are you actually lying to them that you're going to engage in deadly combat?
I mean, no.
She's like, you shot at my friends, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, I don't have my finger on the trigger, but I know my commanding officer at the moment.
Okay.
So
go ahead and roll a. Well, I guess this is going to be an opposed roll for communication. Communication. Okay, just flat communication then. Something tells me that's not gonna cut it, and it doesn't. I guess we'll find out what happens there.
Oh man.
Okay. So we've exchanged certain words as well as certain torpedoes are in the process of being exchanged. Okay, so those are out. Torpedoes, nothing there. Defensive action. I don't think evasion does anything until there's actually a torpedo there to do something.
Yeah.
Same with point defense and damage. Okay, so new round. New communications leadership on both sides.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Not gonna do it. Not getting those stunt points. Okay. So maneuvers. Are we continuing to just hard? Oh, I need to bump. Hold on.
If he rolls doubles like that, do we get the stunt points that are generated just from the roll? Question mark.
Only if you succeed.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Which fortune, cough. If you want to.
How much fortune do I have? How much fortune would I need to burn?
You don't know.
Right.
No, you do. It's not an opposed. The command test is TN 11.
Oh, so he just needs to do one and then he meets it, right? Is it match we win or match we lose?
The
target number means match we win, right?
Yes, it's if you hit the number, you get it.
I will burn one fortune.
Okay, that gives you the 11. So you get one stunt point Plus
the 3?
Plus the 3 because it's drama die, so you have 4. And I'm also
Where are the
churn
for
builds?
space combat?
That's going to be under Ships of the Expanse, also in the regular one.
In the regular book, it's page 131 is the command stunts. Welcome to Tabletop Games, everybody.
I'm going to bring these up on screen
look
real
stuff
quick
up.
here.
Yeah.
And we have 4 points.
You have 4 points. So you pretty much have the entire list. If there was
Actually,
one to spend fortune points on, this was the one.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I should bring it up on screen because it's a paid document, so...
If you also, it's on page 26 of the Ships of the Expanse book. There's some more.
Command stunts. Yeah. And this is a 20-minute warning.
Yep.
So the command stunts that are available are down with the ship. In an act of heroism, the command can expend their own fortune to remove damage taken by other characters on board the ship as a result of a collateral loss. 3, calculation. You can bank the SP you just spent for this stunt +1 and use them on a later stunt. You can also combine these skill points with future skill points earned. 4, rapid reload. Your ship can fire 1 additional torpedo in excess of its number of torpedo tubes this round. Each additional skill point spent allows you to fire 1 more torpedo. You can never fire more than double the numbers of torpedo tubes on your ship. Skimming.
Well,
the space. Sorry.
This is command stunts, not combat stunts.
These are command stunts.
Oh, you're looking at a different list than I am.
This
Page
is
26 in Ships of the Expanse has some additional command stunts.
My apologies.
I think you can also pass those points to other people, I think, using the
calculation
how do
one.
you get the pilot? Well, I was also thinking, how do you get stunt points for piloting and gunnery and stuff?
Well, there is core guidance. Grant a +1 bonus to a chosen ship combat test this round for each SP you spend. So I think that's the one that you would be passing it off as a bonus.
So it's Scarlet's points. He's the captain. He gets to choose what he wants to do with them.
Yep.
I think we all know what I'm doing.
I have an idea.
Rapid reload.
All right.
So is that 2 more torpedoes?
It'll be 2 more torpedoes this round. Yeah. Fired at long range.
If they didn't take us seriously before, they will now.
But we're not firing quite yet. So that means when we fire this round, we fire 2.
Yes, you don't have to declare use until you go to use them.
Okay.
But yes, you have them now. So we're now on maneuvering. So I'm assuming we're going to continue to try to pace the Bard and run.
Yep,
I would say so.
Okay, so
But we're staying with the Bard. We don't want to outrun the Bard. If they fail, we fail too, right?
Yes, that's a choice I would let you make.
Okay.
It's more a matter of if you fail, the choice is sort of made for you.
Right.
Thomas with the dice.
Ooh. Okay. It seems that the pilot of... Well, wait, is that including your focus?
Yes.
Okay. They actually managed to edge out in front of you
Oh man.
and maintain the
Medium?
long range on this round. Because they pulled an 18 to your 17.
Oof.
That's okay.
Fortune.
I think it's. Is it too late after the rolls are done, or because you have to decide to use fortune when you see the roll? But
I was also going to say, if they rolled an 18, the Bard is bigger than us. It's probably beaten the Bard as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah. At this point, I'm kind of going off of yours and theirs. And then having the Bard fall behind would be something I'd do with, like, if your turn counter got up there. They're running for everything they got.
Okay.
And then,
people get
Just reducing the
nosebleeds.
number of rolls.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we are moving from maneuver to electronic warfare.
Pressing
So-
buttons. And then +2 to that, obviously.
Man, the
so
dice do
12.
not like you today.
They do not.
Well, but that is a 13, which is what you need because that is a, let's see. Yeah, TN 11. So you get a bonus of half the drama die rounded up.
So 2.
So 2. Which I believe you're going to need this round, potentially.
Because we got to shoot that torpedo down.
Uh-huh.
Quick question.
Yes,
We're in the electronic warfare phase, right?
correct.
I'm just looking at where you can try to control an enemy torpedo.
Only if it's being manually controlled.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget that we have a bunch of stump points which we can use to. Stump point. Sorry, I was going to say that the electronic warfare we can use to make the test of when our torpedo hits them harder to evade.
Well, that's next round, not this round.
Yeah.
Okay. I will also, since we kind of did this here on the last round, this is also when any communication would happen. And so there is just a line of like cursing coming across the radio. Somebody is very, very unhappy, and has some very pointed things to say about whoever it was on comms. That I can't say, or DE and that would throw me off the channel.
And June just says your mom.
I'll take it. Okay.
As the G's are mounting and the torpedoes are launching, Chester just kind of opens up his terminal and starts reading some New Testament, desperately seeking something that will make him feel better about himself and his situation.
You might want to go with Old Testament.
Okay. So weapon attacks. I'll go ahead. Whoops.
Bloop bloop. Go the torpedoes.
So you are fielding 2 back at them. And they are going to go ahead and start another one on its way to you.
Can we tell this one's targeted at us?
Well, no, you still can't tell exactly where it's being targeted.
Okay.
But we're
They've
about
got
to
us
find out where the
they've got
first
us
one was
both locked
going.
up, right?
Because we're staying near the Bard, so are we getting? Is the Bard going to be able to engage with PDCs as well as us? Because you did say that they had some.
They do
coverage.
have some, but I recall reading that most of like civilian ships, their PDCs were pointed
forward.
What an
and this is coming
absurd
up from
thing to
behind.
do.
Yeah. It's a head scratcher. So I'm going to say theirs would not be very effective.
Fair enough. I just wanted to ask before we.
What class of ship is? Oh, actually, you know what? She's unarmed according to Ships of the Expanse. So any PDCs that are on there, what the GM put on there. So I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, it's a cornucopia class. Otherwise,
Yeah.
But I think it wouldn't be uncommon for a captain to get at least some basic defenses installed.
Especially a captain with Nigel on board.
Yes. The permits for that just slid right on through. Had no problem getting that paperwork filed. Yeah. Okay.
Nigel doesn't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nope. So you were not engaging. This is also if you were close enough to use your PDCs in as offensive weapons, you do have to choose whether you're going to be offensive or defensive. In this case, it doesn't matter because you're too far away to actually do anything.
Well, we actually have enough stump points. If we wanted to, we would be able to multi-target.
You could, yes. That is another thing that you can use them for. Okay, but that first torpedo.
Put her in a spin and put the PDCs on auto track.
Mm-hmm.
Why did my music
Oh
stop?
no, that was okay. They were launched, so now we're in defensive actions before we get to attack damage. You can make dexterity piloting check to maneuver the ship out of the weapon path. That's going to be on the bard because it turns out that first one at least was targeted towards them.
We also get to shoot at it, though, right?
That's another defensive action, but evasion comes before point defense because there's no reason to shoot at it if you can just not be in its path.
I'm sure the bard will outrun the torpedo.
Oh, yes. It will jink to the left suddenly.
15.
Drift lazily to the left, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it works in Space Engineers.
You know some maneuvers.
Lean out the airlock and shoot your pistol at them.
No, they don't have that particular Martian Marine on board. Or ex-Martian. What was her name?
Bobby.
No,
Bobby
the one that you played that shot the airlock. Or shot
Casey.
the door. Casey. Casey's not on board.
More's the shame.
Just shoot Casey out of an airlock at him. She just shoots their airlocks and they all open.
We shoot it
Boarding
from
party away.
We've removed the warhead and added Casey.
This is scarier.
Average sensors +1. Okay. I think that's actually going to get them what they need.
Oh, no way. That
Somehow.
massive ship dodged a torpedo. That pilot
'Cause
deserves a
it's-
raise.
3d6. Yeah, plus dexterity piloting, which I think they would have, is what I'm working off of. So, yeah, it was a 13 on the die, and then, yep. Oh, no, the attacking ship sensors get added to that. Okay, that's what I need to know. Not the sensors on that ship.
Oh, man. If we keep this ship, we're going to have to install some sensor upgrades because this is crap. Looking at our
That's
ship.
not. Nope. Okay. Somehow, I don't know how, because it doesn't say anything that it gets reduced.
Isn't there something to do with piloting checks get more difficult for bigger ships?
Well, there's
Yes.
that for changing. Oh, just pulled my headphones out. Hold on.
Oh, no.
For the maneuvering check, there is, but that's what I'm not seeing anything on the evasion test. That's just 3d6 plus dexterity piloting, if you have it, versus a TN 10 plus attacking ship sensors. And their sensors aren't that good.
It's also not TN10, it's TN12 if you read just below. Medium range of torpedoes
Oh.
+12.
Okay, well, it was still a 13 on the die. Prison center, which would put it equal.
So they just dodge it.
Mm-hmm. I think, Thomas, you're probably in a position, and with the experience to, like, some of the other pilots on the Bard, and they're just flat lucky. But they managed to. The torpedo kept closing in, and it was still a question of, is it going for you? Is it going for them? Is it going for you? Is it going for them? And it overshoots you, and then at the last second, the pilot on the Bard just like kicked some of the maneuvering thrusters in and just like dropped the ship relative. I mean, as far as ship scale stuff is, it would be like missing by inches. The torpedo goes spiraling off. And is gone. So yay.
There's just some poor unsuspecting rock hopper out there that's about to get a torpedo to the face.
Yes. It's still out there.
Thomas
Okay.
pretending like this is a bad thing to him.
So there's no damage. So we're back to the start. Command test, please.
Go, Gadget Captain. All right.
Wow.
My man.
Okay.
Don't worry, they'll get a 19.
I don't think they're going to. No, they did not.
Oh my gosh, look at all those
There's a
stun
9
points.
involved. But that's about it.
So, a quick question.
Yes.
Not to go backtracking. The cornucopia has lumbering as a flaw, so it's one size. It's considered one size larger
but
than it is. Would that matter? Would that have made a difference last turn?
I mean, the way I'm running this at this point is more you versus them.
Okay.
To not drag it out. Like if you guys were over there, that would be different. But
I just want to
their
make sure that
focus
we're
is
getting it right.
You would gather their focus is more and more on you at this point.
Considering we're vomiting torpedoes at them, yes.
Yes.
Catherine just said, "Is Go Gadget Captain how you activate the emergency command hologram?" Apparently it is, because the roll said yes.
Yeah.
State the nature of your command emergency.
So let's see, that's 1 plus drama die. Oh no, you don't get that because you didn't get doubles.
So we get 6 stunt points.
No, we did get doubles.
You only
See?
get the
drama die and the other one 6. It says it generated 6 stunt points.
Oh, okay. I thought it looked at the other two. I guess
No,
it's doubles
any
on
doubles.
any die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Then you have 7.
Oh my god.
Because by succeeding on the test, you get 1 plus drama die SP with doubles. So you have 7 command points.
So, and this round is when our
with.
first torpedo impacts, yeah?
Yes, they would have. Hold on, I forgot to move those. So that one moves there. These two move here. And then that one also moves up because they did return fire. So this would be the first one.
So there is one, Scarlet, you might want to look at.
Miscorrect.
At perceived weakness there. For this, just because we have so many stunt points, because if we have 7, you can launch 2 again and do that one, says the metagaming pigeon.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm looking between 2 different books.
Yeah, I know,
Yep.
it's difficult. The space combat is very complicated.
Yeah. This is tabletop gaming, is looking at books. Oh wait, what do we do? Hold on.
Yeah.
Flip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perceived weakness and rapid reload.
Okay, so what does perceived weakness do?
You increase the damage of 1 successful weapons attack by 1d6.
Lord. Okay.
This stunt is a risk as it has to come in step 5 of the round and requires a successful hit.
Yeah. So they do have the ability to evade and shoot down your torpedo.
Yep.
But we are on the maneuvering. So go ahead and roll that piloting check for me.
quick question, Captain.
Yes.
Do you want to flip and burn and take us into close range? Finish this quickly. Otherwise, we're going to be slinging torpedoes at each other for God knows how long.
If we close with them, we'll be leaving the Bard defenseless.
Well, it won't much of it's defenseless if the other guy's dead. And we'll be distracting them. They're not going to lob torpedoes at a target thousands of kilometers away if we're right up in their face. It's up to you, Captain. Just a suggestion.
Chester's wondering who hurt Thomas when he was a kid.
Yeah. And June just gives him this awful, nasty, dirty look.
Let's stay with the Bard. Our goal is to get them out of here, not necessarily to kill the other people. As I command the ship to
Thomas
fire
frowns,
2 more.
Okay, so let's roll that maneuver, because if you're going to keep trying to run, they're going to keep trying to stick with you. Okay, that's a 15. Let's see how. Nope. Somehow, you and the Bard managed to edge out of long range, which means there wouldn't be any further torpedoes exchanged. You just have to deal with the ones that are currently on the field. And then this is going to become kind of a foot race in space to see if you can maintain that. But let's go ahead and find out what happens. Oops.
And this means we're not firing the 2 torpedoes this round.
Correct. But you haven't... those command points haven't been expended. They can be expended elsewhere if you choose to.
So perhaps maximum perceived weakness on this one torpedo if it hits.
Well, we already did perceive weakness.
Well, they haven't. It hasn't
you do it on
actually been
step 5.
expended. So that's what. Even though if you tell me that's what you're planning to do, until it comes up, you haven't actually expended it yet.
Now, we have to say we're going to do it, though, before the roll to dodge or shoot it down, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to use it there. But that also, if you're outside of long range, you know you're not going to be firing more torpedoes, so you know you don't need to use the extra.
There's also blinding maneuver there.
So let's see. We are on electronic warfare. So whoever is making... Did you actually have one coming at you now? Or no, that's other direction.
The other direction. Ours is getting to them.
Need to roll
Theirs
one.
is getting to us next round, with 2 of ours getting to them.
Yeah. So they need to...
Nab, are you okay with going overtime to finish this combat? Okay. We're going to go a little overtime to finish the combat here.
Yep. Okay. So... Electronic warfare...
Do you need me to run EW over here?
No, because you don't have anything coming at you this round. So you wouldn't need to roll.
He could
Okay.
add points to make their toughness harder, though.
Oh, that's fair. So...
I will roll.
So their ability to... Well, they can't dodge, it'll be whether
Is
or
there
not
any
they
stunt
shoot it down.
points that we can give him?
You can guide him, yes. It's like the core guidance thing.
Well, I get +2 to this too, so there you go.
That's a 16. And I think this is just whether you get the points or not.
Can I just add 3 stunt points to that?
Well, hold up.
He's past it, so it's half the drama die rounding up. It's not.
That isn't an opposed test.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay, I thought it was an opposed test.
You're
That's
just
why I
finding
wanted-
out if you get it.
So we have 2 more stunt points to spend this round, it looks like, if we pass it.
Oh, yes, it is an opposed test. Against
it is?
the, yeah. And the winner gets
opposed
half the
intelligence
drama die.
technology against target number of 11. See. Okay.
I think what it is...
Okay, it's a matter of... I think we'll just kind of... I'll give it to you guys on this one, because your roll was definitely better than theirs.
Okay, so I think opposed test against target number means it has to beat 11, but it also has to beat the other ship.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's because if you fail the 11, it doesn't matter. But if you both succeed, which you did, it's the highest person actually gets it, because in this case you get a little bit of an advantage, and you guys do. You beat their roll.
Okay, but this
So
is
you would
only
have those.
all defensive action or evade winning ships attack. So yeah, so this actually doesn't do anything for us.
Yeah. But
They don't get
it.
anything.
Yes, they don't get anything to add to theirs. As guess what? That torpedo arrived. Well, they have a chance to dodge that torpedo. So 3d6.
I thought it was fired at long range.
No, this one was fired at medium. We went from
The second,
no,
the second
all
two.
We went fast. We went.
All of
to-
yours
to
are-
long
yeah, they were
range,
fired at
then
long
we
range.
fired.
So yeah, they
they
fired at
can't
medium.
dodge
We
it.
fired at launch.
They go straight to, can their PDCs shoot it down?
Which means we should. There's the
And especially early on, I'm fine with you guys discussing what you
There's-
want to do out
so
of character.
there is
That's
the
fine.
blinding maneuver, where we maneuver our ship in such a way as to blind or limit opponent sensors. Each skill point you spend reduces the opposing ship sensors by 1 to a
many skill
minimum
points do
score
we
of
have?
-2.
How many skill points do we have?
We have 7. 3 we wanted to use on the torpedo to make it blow up.
But we're outside of torpedo range, right?
No, but
Oh,
this is
there's
the torpedo
torpedo.
that was already firing. So
But
this
that-
is going to
Yeah,
hit
so
them.
you,
Yes.
yeah.
But
so
in order to get that to... The reason that one is a gamble, they have the ability to shoot it down. And if they shoot it down, those points can't get used.
But if we blind them, do the blinding maneuver, it'll make it more likely that that torpedo hits.
Yeah, because you don't need to expend the 4 points to double launch torpedoes because you are outside of range to do that.
Okay, so do we have 4 points or do we have 7 points?
We have 7 total. I would recommend using the perceived weakness, which is 3 of them. So we could use 4 on blinding maneuver.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Which might be too much. I don't know what their sensors are.
They can never be too much weakness.
Yeah.
So let's use 4 stun points to blind them, and 3 for perceived weakness.
Okay, and that does what exactly again? I know you read it.
Each skill point you spend reduces an opposing ship sensor score by 1 to a minimum of -2 until the start of the round. Perceived weakness, you increase the damage of one successful weapon attack by 1d6.
Yeah, so we'll...
Basically, it's going to make their
to
PDCs have a harder time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so they still roll, and you give them a penalty, is what we're getting to.
We're giving them a penalty of 4, unless that 4 reduces their minimum score to...
-2 already.
Yeah. So -2 is the lowest they can go.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's going to be below 10, so it missed. Well, the torpedo didn't miss. Their PDCs miss. So now we find out about damage.
And then perceived weakness is an extra 1d6.
Yep.
Okay, and were you using that multiple times or just the once?
We can only
it's
do it
just the once.
Just once. Okay. So your torpedoes normally do 4d6. They're going to go. Well, go ahead. Somebody. There should be a mounted weapons.
I think Thomas has the guns. If you want to do the honors.
And then just do like /R 1d6 to add the extra.
So formula 4d6. There you go. Oh, brutal. That was low.
Ouch. And then go ahead and just do like /R 1d6 to add that extra one in there.
Wow, that was a garbage roll.
That.
Oh, that
Must
was
have
much
been one
better.
of those Martian torpedoes that I've heard about.
Hey, that's not too bad. 12. That's not the worst.
Yeah, that's. Yep, that extra damage, doubling what it was capable of doing. Okay. Versus their hull, they roll to. I think that gets subtracted.
Yeah. And if there's anything left over, they have to take a loss.
Yep, which they do.
Yes!
Because they only got a 6. And so for the consideration of time and distance, they're going to cease the chase. But we do still have some torpedoes in route. So we can just resolve those as, can you shoot them down? But they're not going to attempt to follow you anymore, and they're too far away to launch anything more.
So they're going
We
full
just have to
defensive
resolve
now.
what happens.
Okay. June, you want to say anything to them?
Suckers!
But there is your sensors.
And they have
read-
resumed the chase.
Yeah. Your sensors definitely register that a torpedo got through, and then the Thomas, they're watching the plot. You can see that the distance is now opening very rapidly. Go ahead, roll the command for this next turn to see if you get some more.
Oh, no.
Ooh, maybe not.
Oh, no.
Oops, I closed the sheet for the other ship for some unknown reason. Go. Yeah, they're going to win that one. There's not a lot they can do with them at this range, but
Your
there it
captain's
is.
terrible, but your gunner is amazing.
Well, here, I'll just go ahead and... I don't know why that came through as that, but let me just go ahead and show you what they rolled on that command.
Oh, brutal.
So I think they beat you on that one.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So that's going to roll through... I'm going to say the distance is such that your electronic warfare is probably not effective either direction.
Okay.
Nah.
That was fired at long range at that point, so you can't dodge it.
Gotta shoot it down.
So go ahead and roll your point
Question.
defense. Yes.
Does the... Oh, no, we already did this. The Bard can't help us because its guns are pointed the wrong way because they mounted them wrong. Never mind.
Yeah. They're more there to shoot down, like, debris that might be coming in, not torpedoes.
Okay.
It'll be 3d6 plus the ship sensors versus a TN plus a TN of 11 in this case.
You guys want me to do it? Oh, you got it. Hey!
So that's
All
11
right.
plus 1, so you got a 12. So you flip over and fire, well, not flip the ship, but you activate the points defense cannons, and just this hail of bullets going out from the ship, reaching out towards this one torpedo that's coming your direction. And there's as you catch it, and the torpedo is no longer there. They're going to try, because they have to roll twice against those two, because you may end up dropping this thing no matter what.
Well, we only do 3d6 with these ones. And these might
46, because
or
it's
46.
standard.
No, that's right.
Your torpedoes
Sorry.
are standard. Well, they're going to catch one of them, because I think a 14 is going to beat I think that's a TN of 11 against you.
Yeah. Plus attacking. Oh, no, that's not.
And then that's a 13, so I think they're going to shoot both of the other two down.
Yep, because it's TN 10 plus attacking ship sensors.
Yeah. So, I think that's where we'll leave it, as they appear to be abandoning the chase. A couple of small explosions as the exchange torpedoes are dispatched. And you and the Bard are hauling for somewhere. And we will, I guess, find out next time.
Oh, man.
Thomas has just had a big grin on his face ever since the PDCs went off.
Chester feeling the acceleration less. Actually, hang on. Are you guys going to tell Chester that we're not about to die anymore? Because he's kind of sort of halfway out of the loop here.
Nah.
Nigel's muted his audio.
I mean, he probably heard the suckers, so he can.
He did hear that. He's got some of that, and he felt the PDCs go chatter, 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 and then he didn't die. So he's like, "All right, that's good. No more torpedoes being fired." Just keys his mic. Is everything okay?
Everything's peachy.
Yeah, turn tail, Padre.
I don't have any kids.
Hmm?
Padre means father. I don't have any kids.
Yeah, but it's also naval slang for a chaplain, which I thought you were.
Yeah, I was. Whatever.
Why, did you quit being a chaplain?
Am I in the MCRN anymore?
You don't have to be in the MCRN to be a chaplain.
Children.
I don't want to talk about it. Does anyone want snacks? Can we?
Yeah.
I got snacks.
You got like a roast dinner down there? I think
Several.
we earned it.
I pushed a lot of buttons. I was nervous.
June reaches into her pocket and grabs one of the snacks that were supposed to be for negotiations and just chomps on it.
it's a little squished now.
A little bit.
Wait, we don't have atmosphere in the ship yet.
Well,
Not
but
yet.
you downed something earlier, so.
Well, it was
you
a
know.
liquid. You can just there's a port.
Ah.
Space noodles.
We didn't say what the liquid was.
That's true. Should we pressurize the ship and then have some snacks?
Like I say, Rebecca's been working on that. But if acceleration lessens, she'll be able to do it more effectively. But I guess we will find out what happens and
Yes.
what you learn
Yes.
next time.
Yeah,
While we
that
hurtle into
combat's
the
over.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that combat's over, we can repressurize the ship.
Yes.
And Chester's gonna lean his head back and just close his eyes and continue to wonder why on Mars he's out here.